Hey everyone, hopefully you can hear me. When you come in, let me know if you can hear me. I wanted to do a short live tonight and ask for some prayer and tell you what I learned today, and then kind of pick up on where we left off last night during our discussion about everything going on in the YouTube streets. I put the link in the chat if anyone wants to come up and chat and talk about what's going on. Give it a few minutes for some people to come in. When Sarah gets here, if she wants to come back up. Hopefully you guys can't hear this music that's coming through the baby monitor. It's like kind of annoying, but it makes the baby sleep. Make sure I have everything on here working right, because I'm having to do it from my phone again. Okay. I think it is. Oh no. It looks different than it usually does. Okay. I don't even know if there's anybody even in here yet. Oh no. I kicked myself out. Ugh, that was crazy. Having a little technical difficulty. Sorry, guys. All right. Is that better, Sarah? I think I just need to move my computer out of the nursery room because I don't like doing this from my phone. Okay, let's see who's in here. Danny V, Fluffy, John Deere Girl, Wolf Lover, Daisy Joe, Jimbo, Constance, Fluffy. Did I say Fluffy already? I'm not sure. Ricky Carson. Yeah, I'm good. I'm a little stressed because they kind of told us last minute that they're doing this reevaluation for Bella this week, and it was something I thought we weren't going to have to worry about for several months, and um, they told me, which I already told you guys last night, that the judge was putting pressure on them to rush things and make a decision on the permanent placement or the program that they do where they like reintroduce her to the mom, and we kind of slowly work her back to going back to her mom's again, which would take a couple of weeks. And I it's a Sunday, so I really wasn't expecting to hear anything today, but a little earlier the caseworker reached out to me and said that they were coming tomorrow with some paperwork and stuff, and to talk to me about what their ongoing plan is, and they would be here at 11 in the morning. So I don't know. I'm just a little nervous, a little worried. So if everybody would please pray for the situation. As much as I feel like a child should be with their mother. I really just don't think that the mom is ready or anywhere close to being ready to being a full-time mom again. Yeah, Minnie Jr. It is so stressful because, you know, we signed these papers and stuff. We were supposed to have 6 months without having to stress or worry. 6 months for the mom to get up on her feet and change her life. And get a good job and a place to stay and just prove herself. And we thought we didn't have anything to worry about, and now all of a sudden they're wanting to rush things. So I don't know what that's about. They say it's due to low staff, and they have all of these reasons, but to me it just doesn't make sense because this is a child's life. Everything will work out. You got this, Alicia. I can tell you're a great mommy. If you need more help, let us know. Thank you, Fluffy. I'm just putting it in the Lord's hands. He knows what's best. Everything happened for a reason. I realize that these are stressful situations. It comes with doing this, but we're so attached. Next thing I wanted to tell everybody was that if you guys heard the story about my little cousin that was taken over on the mission field in Malawi, Africa, and then she ended up escaping and finding her way back to her parents. Well, they were struggling for a while to make it back to the US, and they were finally able to, and they get back home, and they start to go out to come see their family, and their transmission breaks down in their SUV, and it ended up costing them like $6,000 in repairs. But they finally got that taken care of, and they arrived yesterday, but they were exhausted, so I didn't see them yesterday. I saw them today at church. Hey, Gypsy. Um, and this morning, we really didn't get to like talk to them a lot. I just got to give them all hugs and see them, and sat with them during the service. But they had some things that they had to go get taken care of after church. But this evening service, they came up and they sang a couple of songs, and my cousin got up and he talked about the whole mission thing, and he did not go into a lot of details on what happened with Amelia, and I understand that because she's there, and that has to be embarrassing for her to sit there and have this traumatic event that happened in her life be blasted before the whole church. But he did kind of brief over it, because that's the reason why they're home. But he told me after service, we all went out to eat, and he told me that he did do another message, in his Pensacola church, where she actually came up and spoke too, and they told the whole story up there at their home base church, and that he will send me the recording of that, and I'll be able to post that. So everybody will get to hear the whole story straight from the source. So I'll let you know whenever that happens. Marshmallow's calling the police. But yeah, it was really good to see them all. She's in great spirits. She was hanging out with my kids, which are her, I guess that would be her third cousins. And they're close in age. And she did tell them a little bit because they asked, and she told them a little bit about it. But she told them with that whole, I beat the system type thing. They tried to get me and they couldn't. I was too good for them, you know. And she is really proud of herself that she escaped and got away out of that situation. Yeah, Guy was definitely on her side through all of that. And she's got, a heck of a testimony for sure. Okay, Marshmallow. Hi, Kells Bells. So I've put the link in the chat a few times because, oops, now I've lost it somehow. All right. How do I get it again on my phone? Okay, I see. Because there's a lot of things that I want to say and a lot of things that I want to tell you guys, but trying to think of it all on my own, I've got so much running through my mind. And really, guys, to be honest with you, I'm just stressed right now over this whole situation with Bella and stuff. And she's asleep, and the rest of the house went down. And I saw that Jimbo wasn't going live until midnight. And so I'm just sitting here in my own thoughts. And that's only making my situation worse. So I'm kind of coming on here to just not feel alone right now and be stuck in my own thoughts, you know. I thought about just trying to go to bed early and stuff, but I'm like, I'm not going to be able to sleep. My mind is, going crazy. Gypsy, come up and talk with me. Hey, Sugar Pie, Honey Bun. Yeah, it's just one of those things where, I could call one of my friends, but it's late. And, most of my friends I know are probably like setting down for ready to go to bed. And so I was just like, I'll hop on here and talk to my YouTube family. Love you too, Sugar Pie. Oh, Sarah's coming. Marshmallow's got my back. Yeah, Fluffy, I think that's what it is. When she said that, she would be bringing paperwork and stuff and they were going to go over things, I'm like, what paperwork? Because we've already did the safety plan. We already did the temporary placement thing. So, like, what paperwork, And I could have sat there and cried and asked a bunch of questions, but I didn't. Thank you, Minnie Jr. Hi, Colleen Bennett. Mod voice chat on Discord. I always forget I turned my notifications off with the Discord because it was just like, I felt like it was a nonstop, and then I forget to even go in there. So I don't know what everybody's been talking about. Which I was gone all day today anyways. That's easy to see, Fluffy. I mean, she's very attached. And she doesn't like for me to be away from her for just a few minutes. She whines even when I walk out the room. There's Sarah.
Hi.
Hey, Sarah.
Does the sound normal?
Sounds good.
Okay, good. It's my testing these knockoff earbuds again.
Oh, Miss
Sorry.
Beth Dutton is in here. Hey, Miss Beth Dutton.
Beth? She's up
Mhm.
here.
No, she's in the chat. She just came in.
Oh, Beth in the house. So last night got kind of deep, and we discussed. It got into like psychological stuff, and I don't even remember where it ended. But I know it was a cool talk, and I
Um,
stayed up too late.
yeah, I'm trying to think of where we ended off to. I think we pretty much just kind of closed it out with saying that we were talking about Ernie and understanding that, he has this mental illness and stuff, and a reason for why that he has it, but doesn't really excuse all of his behavior.
Oh, right, and we were talking about how the medications and having somebody, kind of watch that happens and helps him with that kind of stuff could help him um, with some of the stuff that he does potentially. But you were also saying with your knowledge on the narcissist stuff that cannot be cured. Because I was asking if there's any therapies or something you can do, to make the life better for the person, to not have to do some of the things they do. And the way you said it, it sounds like it can't be cured.
That's what they claim.
Beth.
Everywhere you look that they claim that it can't be cured, that a person that's like that cannot change. Now, I personally think that God can change anyone if they really want to be changed, but that's just what they say, like if you go to like Psychology Today or one of those sites, they'll all say it can't be
Hmm.
fixed, and that
Yeah, that's
therapists
kind of frightening.
cannot stand to have a narcissist as a patient because they get nowhere with them.
Yeah, that must suck. Then what's it's like you don't want to say what's the point, but does it help at all? Can it help get through I don't know. Does it do anything? Probably not. Just something I hadn't considered before, so it was like weird to think about.
Yeah, I think it's because like deep down they're super insecure. They know that they're lacking in certain things, and I mean, I've said before, talking about Ernie, like for somebody who wants so much out of his life and he really wants to be somebody of importance, and
Hmm.
looked at and be admired. When at the end of the day, when he's laying there, YouTube's turned off and, all that, he's got to think, I'm in my 40s. I have no job. I have no home. I have no car. I have a son I don't see or talk to, you know, things
Yeah.
like that. And that is what ends up having this other side of him that comes out that's just, lie after lie, story after story.
Huh.
I, I watched a video earlier that Kemper posted of him talking about, talking to the owner of Disney and having a movie coming out soon and
What?
opening his own social media platform that Sony was going to be running for him.
Like a new Facebook or a new what?
Yeah.
Seriously? Wait, who did he tell that? Kemper?
No, Kemper posted the video, and I think it said, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was like July of 2021, and he was doing a Facebook Live, and this was all the claims that he was making.
Okay, I didn't see that one. I had recently, I didn't even know Kemper had videos on there. I recently found his page and subscribed, and I was like, wow, I didn't know he had, I watched some of them. I don't know if I think I watched most of them actually.
Right, Constance, because they have to admit that they have a problem. That's the first step to healing from anything or changing from anything. And to admit that they have a problem then makes them vulnerable, and they have to face that insecurity that they have, that they've done everything in their power to hide.
Oh, right. That makes sense. When you put up
So
all these fronts and stories. Yep.
yeah, it's almost like traumatizing. Like they
I was gonna
wouldn't be
say that.
able to handle it if they had to actually face the truth about themselves.
I guess it could be devastating actually.
Mhm.
You know what, your knowledge, when you did that series, I guess I think a lot of people within, where we have new members in the community that kind of, hang out with us and stuff. I think a lot of people missed your, what was it, a 7-part series you did on narcissists and the different types, because I didn't even know about the different types. And when you described it, like I was like, oh man, like I knew when certain ones, I knew who it was to a T. But then I also thought of some people that I know that do the same stuff that I hadn't realized when you know, gave out. So it's really good information to watch Alicia's Narcissist series
And
posted
I
here.
started that series out to kind of understand everything myself and what I had went through with my own dad, you know, because he was
Yes.
a narcissist. But yeah, as I'm doing it, people were saying, "Wow, this sounds like Ernie," and you know, it really does in a lot of ways. And I think, you know, of course, I can't diagnose him. I'm not, you know,
Right. You're
able to
just
do
saying
that.
you're just saying the symptoms or what you see is similar to, you know. It's okay to
Yeah,
say that if you recognize similar patterns. I mean, you could put it
yeah.
that way.
And I think he's
Um,
complex because I think he has grandiose at times, and other
yeah.
times I think he's covert. You know, I
Uh-huh.
like he can change it up. It's still, you know, it's all the same thing, but he just has traits from all types.
Mhm. Mhm. I did recognize that too. So that kind of threw me off too.
Hey, Jim.
So the complex can be bits of all of them?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, okay. Hmm.
Constant.
Hello. I just wanted to come up
Constance in
and
the
say
house.
I just wanted to come up and say that that same video that Kimber posted about the Sony and the Disney, he posted another one that said that was when Ernie jumped out of the Hummer. And somebody said, "When was this?" And he said, October 2021. So what time was he down there with you, Alicia?
Oh, we were trying to fit it in the timeline last night when we were
Yeah,
talking about this.
He was here in February of 2022.
February
Okay.
2022. So that'd been way before.
It would have been
Hmm.
before, but
Yeah.
there could have been other incidents of hopping out like that. Because what the stuff Alicia was describing to us that she took a picture, he looked so beat up, and the scratches on his arms that to the point where she took a picture. She, what did you say? He had circles under his eyes,
Yeah,
bruises.
he just looked really rough. He had bruises all over his forearms, scratches. His elbows were scratched and beat up. There was a few on his chest. You know, he was very sweaty and pale, we know, with dark circles under his eyes.
Jimbo, do you know what that could have been from?
And
Come
he
up here
made
and help
50
us with this
trips.
timeline.
Yeah, and he made 50 trips to the road back and forth.
And do you know that the Sony thing that was in February? No, you said he was there in February. Well, he said that about Sony in April. So I bet you were Sony. I bet he was. You know, he thought you would. Instead of what I'm trying to say.
Well,
He was going to have
that was
you be
before
Sony.
that was before he even knew my existence. Like he
Oh,
met me in February, and then he was here in February. Like he was here the day he spoke to me, the first day he ever spoke to me.
oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
I
because he was
was
looking for
already
the
talking about Disney.
because he had a crack hotel. He needed a place to stay.
Hey,
Yeah,
Alleged crack hotel.
it was just weird.
yeah, but I did see other videos that people have posted from before my time where he was talking about having a publicist too. So I wonder who that was.
Yeah, he said his publicist told him not to take a job somewhere. He was getting a job. I've got it wrote down, but I forgot what it was. And then he said his
Bingo.
publicist, yeah, his publicist told him to stay away from Bama too.
Jimbo's comment. This is what I was going to say, and I was wondering in my mind. There are several other highway runs and episodes that were off Facebook Live that no one recorded, and that's what I was wondering if there was an episode that caused all those marks. Because there's probably some that aren't on Facebook Live. Sometimes your phone's dead. You know, some things happen.
Jimbo said it was from Phil. Did they just get in fights? Like when they would get together, they would
But
just fight? Or
But he also said in the comment above that comment that you just read that there was some that weren't recorded. So I wonder if he had one.
I have a police report from the one in Jonesboro, I think, but I can't find it. I'll have to call and get it again. But he pulled up behind an officer had someone stopped on the bridge, and Ernie pulled up behind him and started saying, "Don't shoot me, bro! Don't shoot me, bro!" And the cops are like, "What?" And they put him in the
Sorry.
back of the seat, and that's when they hogtied him because he
Hogtied?
resisted. Yeah, they hogtied him and tied his feet to the car door so he would stop back to the pool.
What the
And so he
hell?
If you look at his Facebook, it says, "This is what happens when you stop and ask the Jonesboro Police Department for directions." And I called because they're really easy. Those people there are real easy. You call down there and tell them the name, the date, and they'll just email it to you. I mean, like instantly. But I cannot find the email. But the email says, the cop says, I had someone stopped. I was already on a traffic stop, and this guy comes up, starts acting weird. So I asked him to stand behind my police car, and he started acting weirder. And yeah. But it's on his Facebook where he's all beat up, and he says, "This is what you get when you stop and ask directions." I wish I could share screen, but yeah,
Is that the one where he told everyone that the officer thought he was a Mexican
probably.
and he got
What
real
the
racist?
heck?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this one. Jeez.
And then there's another incident where how he met Tina was. I've got these pictures he posts on Facebook where he's turning to the side. You see his shoulders all cut up, and his face is all cut up, and I don't know what happened there. But that's when Tina said she noticed him on Facebook, and she invited him to the hemp cafe for some salve to put on his wound. And then he seen the sound table. So and that's how they first met, was after that incident. But I don't know when that I don't have it without looking at it. Jacksboro, yeah, Jacksboro, Tennessee. That was it, Jimbo. And if you call that sheriff's department, they're real nice. They'll send you that police report instantly. I just can't find out where I put it.
Yeah, you're good at your reports. Do you have like a book? Are you like taking notes on the different dates and stuff?
I asked Jimbo. I have a notebook. I have this. This is gonna sound a bit like stalking, but I wanted to see the pattern.
I was wondering.
But I went back as far as I could, and as far the earliest I found on his Facebook was 2011. So I put everything I found in 2011, 12, 13. 2013 was a hockey mask, I think. Then 15, 16. No, 2011 was the wrestling. And then 12, 13 was the hockey mask. 15, 16, 17 was just crap. 18, 19, 20. 21 was the summer wells. And then, I got 21 and 22. And when you look at it, I found all of the T-shirts, and that's why I said Ernie Shell was the CEO of all these companies, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt because he made T-shirts. He made T-shirts for fighting the guy that he got thrown under the trailer for. The killer inside. He made T-shirts there. He made T-shirts for Infringed. He made T-shirts for the Shell Project. He made T-shirts for the official Shell Project. He made T-shirts for Rescue Our Children. He made T-shirts for Rescue Our Children and Predator Hunter Nation. He made T-shirts for Ernie Shell Reality. Every time he made T-shirts, and that's why I said all he got was this lousy. I even made a clip of that.
That was the best video ever with all the free insurance.
It's crazy because if you see it all lined out in a pattern, you see it, and that's what I wish we could all get together and with Jimbo and Lisa and Asia and China.
Yes, Asia and China. Yep.
Yeah, because Alicia told her stories, so you know the behind the scene. Lisa's told her stories, so Lisa's like, well, he told me this, and then what he told the public, and Alicia's like, well, this is what he told me, and then we can put the public to where you can see it lined out. And yes, everybody says, well, Ernie's left. Yes, Ernie's left, but Ernie will be back. That's why we're not going to stop.
Right? Because if every time he goes away for any amount, short amount of time or a month or two, he comes back big. Usually he jumps on something that's going on, like he did with Summer's case. And then he gets a whole bunch of new people who don't know any of this stuff, like how he found me or how I found him, And then if these people don't know, then they fall for it and they throw out tons of money thinking they're helping some great cause.
Mm-hmm. Rose cussed me good this morning. She's like, why do you care? Why don't you just leave him alone? And I'm like, you know what? She's like, did he hurt you? Or what? I said, you know what? I'm big enough to see beyond myself. He doesn't have to hurt me for me to want to try to put the awareness out there. If I put this out here and you want to give him your money, then so be it. But if the information isn't out there, then nobody knows. At least if the information is out there, you can make an educated guess whether you want to support him or not.
Absolutely.
And, seeing Alicia cry that day on Miss Daisy's, I mean, that hurt her. He doesn't realize what his actions did to the people around him.
Not to the depths, or maybe not care. We'll put it that way, as caring as we would.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
and then I know that, he heard his mods every time that he said blocked is blocked, and then he'd let people come back in. And that caused his own viewers and his members stress. They
A
didn't
lot.
want to, they don't want to see me up on his chat, but he lets me up on his chat.
Yeah. Oh, they get pissed at you.
Yeah.
They're always like, kick her off.
Yep.
Block.
Because they
And I
don't
know.
want to hear the truth.
Yep. I know that feeling. Block means
Mhm.
block.
Did you see Jimbo's comments? He said, I really wanted to help and cared about my friend. He just can't change. This time it's the worst and it keeps progressing. It does. It does get worse. And I blame his pay piggies on that. And Lori for making them cartoons of him. They uphold him in this grandeur stat that it's like
Where
blow.
did it come from? I only saw a clip of it. Are you talking about the one where he was like a giant Ernie and Benny was small?
Oh, the one where he looked almost black.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other with his tiger stripes. And then one where he was Superman, and then one where he looked like, I don't know, he had a bib on or something.
Well,
But she does that, and that's just like that's blowing his balloon. She's just blowing him up.
it feeds the grandiose. When you see
Yeah.
somebody, that means that's telling him that that's how those people see him, and it adds like
Yes.
worse. They don't know that.
And if you
Constant,
cared about him, you'd bring him back down to earth. You wouldn't blow him up.
yeah, Constance's timeline that she has with everything and how she has everything laid out. When I saw that, that's one of the times where I was just like, okay, yeah, I am done. Like, I didn't know all of this, and seeing it like this is just like it blows your mind, and then you realize, oh my gosh, this guy is a criminal mastermind in a way,
Yeah,
of
and I got it all from the information he put out there. It's his 3 Facebook pages that I found are public, so it's information he put out there. I didn't go real life. I didn't dig into his. I just looked at the information he put out there, and I just lined it down. From when he was married to the hockey mask and all I did I called Officer Rose, the one that worked the wrestling gig. That guy, he just happened to still work at the same police department, and he's on desk duty now because he's getting older. But he was happy to tell me the story about Ernie. He's like, "Oh yeah, it was snowing the hell that night," and you know, everybody I talked to, and I just got a call back today from somebody that I hadn't talked to. Somebody he worked for in maybe it was West Virginia or Virginia.
You got a call back.
Yeah, I left him a message with all these people, and finally these people called me back today. The one that he did security with, but I missed the call.
Dang it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna call them Monday and see what they say.
Oh, no.
But the message they left said, I'd like to discuss this in person with you or something like that. So
Oh shoot. That'd be a good one.
but see, I only know it's on Facebook, so I would like to get with Jimbo and Leslie and Alicia and China and all them that know. They can say no. This is what he was really doing. Nope, this is what he was really doing. Put my time with their timeline.
I regret and feel mean that I doubted, when I was in the group and everything, that I hadn't even considered the fact that, China, I didn't really know what was going on with it. I just kind of went believing him. But, she's had her. Now I'm like, oh my goodness. Once I saw it and read her story on her timeline, it like all hit me like she's a real victim. He stole $850 from her.
Mm-hmm. And she's a single mom.
Right.
I really liked Sarah, and there was a few people in the tiger community that I really liked, and when I started like realizing everything, and after I saw your timeline, Constance, I called Sarah. You remember that, Sarah?
Yeah, I remember everything hit me all at once. I was in a parking lot. I was about to go into Kohl's and I was like, yeah, that was big. That was a
Yeah,
big.
I'm like,
And if I could ever share a screen, I could show you all my timeline.
I would love to see something put together by you, something like that. That would be good for education purposes.
yeah, we
And
could all share it and get it
yeah,
out there. So people don't fall victim again.
Jimbo said Elisa reached out to me shortly after meeting Ernie, but she didn't trust me yet. Yeah,
Mhm.
because Ernie's gonna make anybody that can verify anything the bad guy.
We're taught in there like they are now, and it sucks because like some people you were friendly with and stuff, and
Mhm.
and they don't know because they're taught that everybody's the enemy, I guess, in a way.
Well, he
I
said
think it's
that
good.
the first
Go
day I
ahead.
met the very first day I met him, he was like, "Stay away from Jimbo, Benny,
Yep.
Jamie, You know, he told me right from the beginning who his trolls were. You know, who the people were that were trying to ruin his life. And he told me, stay away from them. They're no good. Everything he tries to do, they destroy it. You know, so he set that up, you know, right from the beginning. So when I started seeing all the lies and see that he was lying to me, and that things that he was saying just, you know, didn't make sense too, and then he was scamming people, that's when I was like, well, I need to talk to this other side that he says is so bad, you know, and hear what their perspective on things are, why
Yep.
they feel the way they feel about him.
Yep. And I think if Jody was to see the timeline laid out and everything, she's a smart woman. But
Yeah,
right now she's stuck in the mode that everybody else is, feeling sorry for him because he's getting picked on and she wants to help him. You know, that's how everybody gets stuck in his.
that's how I was too. So I
Yeah.
understand. And also me saying stuff, you know, like recently about reading, you know, she misunderstood something I said due to other people spreading stuff. And then you know, she inadvertently through my stuff got affected and upset. And it sucks because I had no intention of doing that. And she doesn't know the truth yet, you know, but
Mhm.
she can either watch my video or what. But it just sucks because now she's in pain and stuff. And it's all because of him, stuff with him, you know.
That's another thing I want to do. I wanted to make a sheet because every time I tell them, I said, "Do you know how many people you've hurt?" I want to make a sheet with their story. Remember when Gypsy had the live? Come tell us how meeting Ernie affected you. I would like to have someone do a live like that too, and have someone say, "Okay,"
Oh,
and
yeah.
everybody tell their story.
Yeah, I did one of those a long time ago, but it
Or
wasn't
maybe it was you, yeah,
it
instead of
wasn't like
Gypsy.
it was just in the top of my head, you know, random.
Mm-hmm.
But what is this Hay House everybody's talking about in the chat? Who worked at a Hay House?
Oh,
Ernie did.
where Ernest met Eric Rush.
Like a community corrections thing, wasn't it?
It's like a halfway house for prisoners before they're released into the population. Ernie was a security guard. It's where he met Eric Rush. Imagine.
Another thing. Go ahead, Tara.
Oh, I was just
There's
saying, I'm a security guard. That's it.
there's a lady on here that worked there when he worked there, that, you know, has some inside info on what went down there. Thank you, Sophia.
Yeah, that was nice.
And again, we sell these pictures. It's another one of them things. He worked here and all he got was this lousy T-shirt. He worked there and he got a T-shirt. He worked at this place and got a T-shirt. You know.
Hey, I make T-shirt quilts. What you need? You want a quilt?
Jimbo said there's so many you'll never know about.
Jimbo said he's going to come up in a minute.
But it isn't, you know, just plug it in. It's like everybody has a little piece, and we just need to plug all these little pieces in.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's already
You know.
starting to be plugged in. That's the thing. And even though, you know, as frustrated as you get sometimes trying to get through to people and people get upset, you also have gotten through to some too. You know?
Yeah, one at a time. It just takes, you know, one at a time. And Rose just hates me to the end of the earth. She thinks I'm just some child trafficking person that's, you know, just hates Ernie. And like, I'll post the email. I think I even sent it to Sarah, the email I sent Ernie on Facebook. I said, dude, I think you could be a great, you know, guy. I think, and I'm just, you know, I wonder why you're doing all this. And all he wrote back to me was, "You'll see, I'm telling the truth." Okay, dude, whatever.
Yeah.
He said that so many times, and what we see is the exact opposite. There's no follow through to anything he ever says. You know, like
No
that.
question.
There's so many of them that I've talked to that they start to listen, and they're like, "Oh, you know, you're right about that. Oh, that did happen. Yeah, I saw that. That was disappointing." But then they go right back. I don't get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sugar Pie said, if Flicky Nicky wasn't so horrid to him, he wouldn't have got the support he did, in my opinion. She made it so bad he was able to manipulate all of us and play off of it. Do you know how hard it was for me to do my research because of Nicolina and them trolling places and calling places out of malicious intent and making up lies? So when I called, especially the one that stands out the most was the Kentucky Colonels. When I called, the lady's like, yeah, we know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, ma'am, do you really know? She goes, yeah, I know. We know he's got a lot of trolls. And I had to sit there for like 15 minutes and explain to her, ma'am, I know he has a lot of trolls, and I know you probably got a lot of troll calls, but would you please listen to me, because this is legit, and I need you people to look at this information legit. And finally, it took me 30 minutes to get through to this lady that I wasn't just making shit up. And that was because people had called and made shit up to where they were just hanging up on people.
Yep. That's a
Well, that's
problem.
the reason why there's a lot of people who think that they've always been working together and that this is all a big LARP and it's fake hate, because you do get way more support from people when you have haters that seem to be attacking you all the time, and it keeps the story going.
And that's why blocked never meant blocked, because he had to keep that going.
Yeah.
He needed the trolls. He needed that. He needed people to get up there and be mean to him. And see,
But he
even
wouldn't
knowing I should not get up there and talk to him, because that's we go, okay, well, I'm gonna open the phone lines up. I should shut up, because the minute I get up there, that's when all the pity money comes in. So I need to learn to shut up.
pity money.
It is pity. It's sympathy money. Oh, poor Ernie. Here, poor Ernie. Here, you poor thing.
It did make him feel famous, Leslie B. And like I said last night, if it got too quiet, if something else, caught people's attention and they weren't paying attention to him, then he would instigate a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, like the 3-day torture, starting crap with Benny when he wasn't even responding.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted everybody to create their own channels and would help them get their channel going. But all that was so there was more people out there talking about him.
And he only promoted the one that was people talking about him, which was at the time, I think it was Mama T's. He would, say, let's go to Mama T's or whatever. And there was a lot of talk about him in there. And he didn't promote some of the other channels. And I started seeing that, which ones he was promoting, the ones that he visited.
And he has legitimately put Benny and Rab and Jimbo in legitimate danger, by saying that Benny kidnapped Summer Wells or that Benny did this and that Jimbo sells drugs and has all this drugs. All it takes is one of his kooky people to believe that,
Mm-hmm.
Right. But, I do remember, like, at times when he was, like, just sitting in his car and he had some of those, like, what was it, Tomahawk or something, and a few other things, and the people were calling the cops on him, trying to get, and they're like, that's so dangerous, because if you call the cops saying there's a crazy guy sitting in the car with weapons, they could harm him,
Oh, I was so mad when they did that. I was so mad. The trolls.
Yeah. So it's not like everything, what am I trying to say here? I mean, sometimes things were done towards Ernie that were wrong, and you do get mad about it. You do feel sorry for it. And it's those few things, and they're few compared to what he's done to others, that everybody will throw in your face whenever you try to tell them who he really is as a person.
Yeah, exactly.
But it could have kind of been a legitimate concern, because, Ernie did that show for a reason. He was playing with them weapons out there for a reason. Almost like he wanted someone to call the cops on him. You know what I mean?
Right. Because he knows it's going to happen. He knows if he goes live and he's in a public area with a bunch of weapons, that the people are going to call on him, and then it's going to create a stir, and then everybody's going to be like, oh, poor Ernie, he can't sit in his car with a bunch of knives.
But do we know if the cops even came for sure that night?
I don't know, because didn't he on that one, like, say that they did, and then he turns the video off, and you hear him talking to somebody, and then it turns the video on again?
Well, they reportedly took his, weapons, I guess, which were supposed to be gifted to certain people. Two people.
Said they did, but we don't know any proof that they did.
Mm-hmm.
He said it was pending that was investigation, maybe, or
What town was that? Does anybody know the town? And I'll just call and ask him for any incident reporting Ernie Shell and see if it even happened.
I don't know if there's any record of it, or anyone has it on their channel. Like, you would have to be like some of the old timers that have been around doing
The
videos.
police would have an incident report, even if nothing was done. The police would have an incident report saying we went out there. So if I could get the name of the town or the county, I'll just call and say, can you give me any incident reports regarding Ernest Maxwell? And they'll give me a list of them, and there's probably only that one if it's on there. And if they don't have one, then it didn't happen.
If
I
only
would say that
remember-
Benny would know, because isn't that the same day that he went into like a Waffle House or something and tried to get a discount by saying he was like a first responder or something?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure same day.
Mhm.
Benny would know. Yep.
I think he's the one. Is he the one who called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he might remember what town, because I know that they were watching the street signs, and they saw a building across the street that they recognized because they had a sign on it, and that's how they knew.
That girl said Middlesboro. Is that Middlesboro, Tennessee, or Kentucky?
Wow, good memory.
Um,
Good memory, that girl, 77, if that's it.
I do believe that it was in Tennessee when it happened.
Okay. Well, I'll call tomorrow and ask him and see. Yes, it was at Long John Silver's. That's right. Yep.
It was in a parking lot. Was it across the street, or that's where he was eating?
I think he was eating there.
Yeah.
And he said, so what makes me think that it's all a complete lie? Because we know that those companies didn't send him them weapons as a sponsorship.
No, we knew it wasn't a sponsorship. We just know that he had
Yeah.
them. Either gave them to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember where they came from, but I know he was talking about he was gonna, give them away and stuff, but then he couldn't because they
Yeah.
took it all from him. Which,
I will call and see that tomorrow.
why would they do that if none of the weapons were illegal? Why would they take them from him? That doesn't make sense.
Wasn't he on bond though for the van after that? Wasn't that after the van? Maybe
Mm,
that's,
There was something that he was, we were all worried he was going to go in for it. I just can't remember what it was.
I don't know. There is so much.
It's been so.
Every week there was something else horrible happening. It's so hard to keep up with it all.
More to that story.
Constance dropped off. Probably
Yeah.
need a link again.
I'm just going back to see some of the stuff I missed.
But if you ever
Won't
take
talk.
the time and you if you're having a hard time sleeping at night or something, and you take the time to let it just all go through your head, everything you could remember, going back as far as you can, you start to realize how insane it all was. No one's life is that crazy,
No, like we were talking about last night, and I can't imagine just being the permanent nomad at that many years, that you don't know how stressful that must be to not know where, have that stability in your life where you have your same bed to lay down at night, and just everything, your own spot. It's kind of weird.
Hey, Jimbo.
Everybody
Hello,
needs a place
ladies.
to call their own home. What up, Jimbo?
What's going on, Ninja?
Yeah.
Hey, there's a few things I can probably clear up for y'all. The incident you're talking about was in Middlesboro, Kentucky.
Oh.
They swore that Ernie was arrested and he was in jail. I called. There is no Middlesboro jail. That would be Bell County Jail. It's
Nice.
only 30 minutes down the road from here. I called to verify he was not in jail. He wasn't arrested. That was a fake. Ernie faked that.
Faked getting arrested?
Yeah, having the cops come to the thing. I think they came out to the what was the restaurant? The
Long
John Silver.
Long John Silver's, yeah. But they didn't arrest him. He wasn't taken into custody. It was the next day he was supposed to be in Prestonsburg for court.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he wasn't that's a couple hours away, and he wasn't in Middlesboro. I don't think the Middlesboro Long John is open anymore. It may be, but I'm not sure.
Did they confiscate all of his little weapons?
I believe they did take his weapons, his little tomahawk he had, and maybe a knife or something.
I think it was a knife and a tomahawk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that because he was already in trouble?
No, whoever called said he was spinning around and saying he was going to hurt somebody.
Running around the parking lot, I think, maybe with him swinging it, like
Yeah.
a crazy person or something like that.
Yeah.
Which not doing that.
No, that's unofficial. You know, I have not spoke to law enforcement, but that's that's secondhand. That's what I got. So
You taking notes, Constance?
excuse me. Now Middlesboro is on the border of Tennessee. Like it's the next. You know, you leave Middlesboro going south, you're in Tennessee. The next county over is a Tennessee county.
Interesting.
I know.
And it's not far from Jacksboro, where he did get, the cops lit him up pretty good, and because he resisted arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back with my first husband, in Georgia, it was illegal to have fireworks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right outside of, like, when you're going into, what is that? When you cross from North Georgia into Tennessee, the first thing that you come through.
Chattanooga.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They had a big flea market place there, sold fireworks and all kinds of things, and we went up there and we didn't buy any fireworks. We bought like katanas and these swords and ninja stars and all that to make him a man cave room with and decorate the walls with that stuff. And but when we went to cross back over the state line, we got pulled over because they were checking to see if we bought fireworks. And we didn't, but we had all those weapons and they didn't do anything, They were just like, oh, okay, and let us go with the car full of all these weapons. So that's why I wondered why they would take that from him when it's all legal stuff.
I think the way
I think somebody called in on him and said that he was threatening, I guess.
and he's out on bond, like Beth said. They called and said he's out on bond and he's swinging weapons, like stuff like that. They made it sound bad.
Yeah. Now his Constance Sue, I just put that in chat, but she was asking why was he going to court in Prestonsburg. That was his harassing communications criminal summons in Floyd County that Kemper and I had been telling him he had since last February or March. And he kept saying, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. Yes, you do. And finally, he got served. And when he got arrested in Madison County. So, yeah, he's been arrested. Like he tells Constance Sue, he's been arrested 3 times in his life. But
right.
He got arrested in Jacksboro, Tennessee, the one time. Let's see. The fraud in West Virginia for the wrestlers. That's 2. Then he was arrested twice last year in Madison County, Kentucky. That's 4. I had him arrested for threatening in, I think, 2007. That's 5. And he was arrested for child support in Duffield, Virginia. So that's 6 at least.
A lot of arrests in Virginia. Did you look at all those that I showed you, Jimbo?
What is it?
All those arrests in Virginia.
Yeah.
All those? Those?
Yeah, there's a good bit of arrests in Virginia.
Yeah.
Alert and said, Jimbo, do you have actual evidence that he's been diagnosed with schizophrenia?
She's a psych nurse, and we've seen the paper, but
I saw the paper too, but
he was diagnosed in New York City. Well, not New York City, New York. When he was arrested, that's another one. He was arrested in New York when he had the hypodermic needle. He was arrested there. And, he eventually landed from there into a psych unit in New York. That's where he called me from. His sister finally, got me in touch and gave me the number. I called the New York number. And when I talked to him, excuse me, sounded very much like he did when he returned to YouTube here about a week ago or whatever, when he sounded all weak. He's like, Jimbo, he said, man, it's great to hear your voice. And he was all weak, just sounded just like that. And he was in psych. And that's why I thought maybe he'd been psych ward somewhere now and been sedated. Because that's what it sounds like to me. He's coming off sedation.
Like on the Hale.
Yeah, I mean, look at him now. He's, yesterday when he was talking about playing his game of Catch Me If You Can, he was really strong.
That's like taunting the court. I don't know why you'd want to do that.
He's foolish. He thinks he's above the law somehow.
All these things in YouTube are gonna really affect his time when he gets his time. I think that's my
Yeah.
opinion.
Let me turn my ringer off so I don't.
I have it, Constance. I can send it to you.
Is it expunged? Is that what happened? Did it get cleaned up? Is it hidden? Is it hidden there too?
That's possible.
Because that's what happened with the other stuff. When
Yeah,
he
no,
always
that's
says,
possible.
my record's clean, but that's because there's, like all the wrestling things and everything that was just hidden.
Well, I don't know. It's hidden. I've got a big old PDF of it. Like I've got it. Nicolina sent it to me back in March of last year.
Yeah, but as far as
Um,
I've told, that a lot of it was hidden when you first run it. Like he says, I'm clean. I don't have a record, and people would
Yeah,
look.
he did.
Now-
He went to those sites that allows you to pay a little bit of money to hide stuff, and he had it hidden.
right
Yeah.
off the sides, yeah. But
Yeah.
now a couple of those wrestlers were underage because they don't require a license in West Virginia or Virginia, wherever he was at, and that's the reason why he was able to even do a show because Ernie can't get a license to promote. He has to do it in a state where there's no license required.
Honey,
Yeah, babe.
I love you.
Going to
I'm
bed.
stuffed.
All right.
I guess that I'm going to bed.
All right. I love you, babe. I'll be there in a few minutes.
All right.
But yeah, there's possibility that those underage kids that were wrestling that may have something to do with why you can't find it. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, as they call it, I guess. But who knows? I just don't know that he would be able to hire somebody to expunge anything because he's been paying on a damn speeding ticket for 15 years.
Oh, alert and amused. He is not organized. He's very impulsive. He's very all over the place. He relies on a few friends that he has,
not organized.
to organize things for him and give him what he needs when he needs it. Have things ready for live, stuff like that.
His organizational skills are done by somebody else.
Yes, he would never. If it was just him without the help, he would never be able to keep up with anything.
Yeah. Like I said, there's been 3 different doctors with medical degrees and that have diagnosed him with schizophrenia.
Right.
The one in New York, the one in London, Kentucky, and the one in down there by Fields. In Tenova Hospital or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's at least 3.
Well, I have Jimbo, I wanted to ask you because people have asked me this so many times, and I pretty much know the answer. But people will say, "How could Jimbo turn on Ernie or do what he did when they were friends for 20 years?"
It's only Jimbo, right?
They try to come off like you're this, horrible friend, so disloyal because you have this wonderful 20-year brotherhood friendship,
But
it's not like that at all. We weren't, that close of friends. I mean, he mooched off my family for a long time, and we took him in and we forgave him over and over and over again. After a while, he kind of grew on us like he was kind of like one of the kids. He acted like one of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, we forgave him. That's the kind of people we are. We're forgiving people, but I didn't turn on Ernie. Like, I tried to get him help, and then they forced that fight. Southern Girl and I can't remember who else it was, but then MAGA, uncharacteristically gets up there on Mama T's panel drunk, and Ernie Shell never lies, and okay, I mean they pushed me into that argument
about him,
huh?
And you know everything about him, surely.
Yeah, they knew it was coming. Ernie wanted that fight. I was told about it, at least a month prior. Like, look,
I was one of the ones that told you.
Yeah, I didn't want to out you, but yeah.
Well, I don't care. But I'm one of the ones that came to you and told you because, he called me and he told me I needed to stay away from you, that you're no good, and he's found out all this stuff about you. And I said, what? You guys are friends. I mean, you've made up again once again, and things are really good right now. And I said, Ernie, please do not do this, because you're going to cause a divide in the community. Like, everyone has, became friends with people. Like, stop thinking about yourself as a creator. Start thinking about your subs, your followers, because we've became friends and we're getting along and helping each other out and all this. And I said, if you do this, you're going to cause a split, another divide, where people have no choice but to pick a side and have to turn on each other. And I said, it's just not fair to the people. So whatever you're mad about right now, fix it. Please don't do this. And he's like, oh, I wish I didn't have to, Alicia,
Yeah.
but I have no choice with what I found out about Jimbo. Okay, well, tell me, what did you find out that's so bad? Oh, you'll find out. You'll see. It's all going to come out. But I'm just telling you right now, don't trust him. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
so I was just angry because I knew that he had nothing, and that this was, his numbers were starting to get smaller. I felt like he was jealous over your channel growing and what we were doing over on your channel, you know. And so I thought this was a way for him to try to take away your subs from you, is all that it was.
Yeah.
Then of course it all blows up. The fight happens again. He starts it all up. All this time went by, and only thing that he's came out about you that you buy drugs from China and sell them. You
fake
know,
fake ones of buy from China.
yeah. So he had, just like I knew he had nothing. He only wanted to start the fight because he wanted to take back his people.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to do. And it did. Like, my numbers went, I dropped probably 200 subscribers. And then, but now, over the last, I would say 6 weeks, we've probably gained 350, like, so it's, people actually see the truth and like are getting to know me, and, they see that I'm not that person Ernie and Nicolina say I am. I'm not some kind of friggin' monster.
I think
No,
it's fair
I've
to do their own
met
research.
a person.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sarah.
No, I was only saying it's fair for people to do their own research and don't rely on what somebody else says about somebody. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, Sarah's one of the ones, like, I had so much respect for Sarah because she's never confrontational with anybody, really, and,
Try to give them a chance.
yeah. And I mean, Sarah had become a mod on my channel, and she was still a mod on Ernie's channel. And I never once asked her, like, hey, Sarah, I'm going to need you to choose here. I'm like, she saw what she saw through her own eyes.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't tell her, look at this, look what Ernie's doing. You got to see this. You got to see it. Like, she saw it on her own.
Oh yeah.
And she made her own decisions.
Well, I kind of did. I did call Sarah and discuss some things I had found out and some thoughts that I had, and I just kind of ran everything by her on what I was learning, and trying to figure
Well, I
things.
didn't know. Ernie's talking like I'm telling people they got to choose, but I didn't say that.
He's the one who kicked me out.
You sure did.
Yeah, he said he had people that were like, Sarah's over in Jimbo's, and I'm like, yeah, I do both yours. I can keep this shit separate. I don't go around talking shit on you both. You know what I mean? I keep it separate. That's your guys' fight. You know what I mean? That's the why I always try to do that to the best of my ability and keep people's fights separate. But sometimes you get involved, and I did my best to stay out of it. He's
You
the
did
one.
a really good job.
He's the one who took the wrench and told me not to ever come back. And then he clearly had somebody make videos about me and Gypsy because we both got kicked out in the same week.
Yeah. Well, he did something similar to Sugar Pie, except he made up some BS and said Sugar Pie sent me pictures.
What? Oh, that was how.
Yeah, and just out of the blue in his chat one day, he attacked her. Like, that was a mistake, Ern. I don't understand his thinking. Like, I really think he just thinks he's got to be top dog always.
Yeah, like Sarah said, I tried my best to, stay in both of communities, even after I already had my mind made up about who and what Ernie was. I
Exactly.
did it for the sub's sake, for the community's sake, you know. And I told him that please don't put me in the middle of this, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to be put in the middle. I don't want to be made to make a choice. You know, I said, matter of fact, when someone does that to me and tells me I have to make a choice, I'm going to do the opposite of what they want because I'm a rebel, you know.
Right. Most people
So-
are, you know.
you don't do that to me, you know. And he's like, oh, okay. And he said he did not care if I still went over to your and still modded for you and all that. But then a few days later, he's on his live saying, well, you just stay over there, Alicia, you know. Okay.
I want to say hi to Team Rose. She came in the chat there.
Oh, I didn't even see her.
Hey, Team Rose.
Hi, Team Rose. I just didn't even see you. Is it really? Where is she?
I think it's really her.
I don't see her. Oh, there she is. Sorry, I didn't see you. This is interesting. Yeah, it was eye-opening yesterday. I wanted to say something to Alert and Amuse too before I forget about the psychosis. Now, on the paper, they're also the diagnosis for the episode, as you would call it, was labeled as a psychotic, a psychotic episode like you described, because that can happen too sometimes. So it's specifically that, labeled as such. Psychotic break. It could have been induced by what Leslie said too.
Yeah.
Hey, Rose came in with another.
There she is. There she is again. Is that your incognito?
But there was something else I was going to say about that too, with the split thing. And I forget now what I was going to say about it. But I was going to say I didn't. When everybody was like, "What's going on? Why would Jimmy do that?" I didn't tell anybody at that point my thoughts on Ernie. I kept my mouth shut. Unless somebody directly, like straight up asked, and then I didn't want to lie. So I would just kind of nicely say, I saw some things I didn't like, because people noticed that I wasn't going in his chat anymore. But then I did get a few people confront me and say, how dare you? You know that Jimbo is just jealous of Ernie. And that never made any sense to me. Like, why would you be jealous of Ernie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I don't get it.
Maybe because when you're grandiose, you believe it, kind of in a way. So
I do think he believes that.
So you sort of feel superior, so everyone else is inferior. So maybe that comes from, maybe.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, you both kind of made your channels around the same time, right? I mean, a little bit after his, maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would have never came to YouTube if Ernie hadn't started all that murder for hire crap, and then came to YouTube with it. Like, I had to come over here and set things straight, and then when I did, I was going to tell everybody about all the scams and everything else and warn people.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my channel was a direct result of him running away from Facebook and coming over here and starting his BS like that. I've told that story a few times, the actual truth about it. And the FBI agent, I even played his voicemail to me. Like, that was dropped quick and handled like there was nothing to it. And, it was my attempt to get him and another guy to leave each other alone. And it was a bad attempt. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But he wants to make some kind of, make me into some kind of friggin' like mob boss, and he's still trying to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
I just felt like I needed to, because the internet's forever, and he's going to go over here and say this stuff, and I'm not going to say anything back. That's not going to happen. That's the reason why I came over here. So now that's not why I'm here now. My channel is going to continue. I want to do other things, and hopefully we can do that real soon.
Well, that's
this is kind of trying to put the whole thing with Ernie to rest. That's why I'm doing this, because I just want to put all my thoughts out there, everything that, I learned and went through the past year, and kind of put it to rest and move on from the whole thing. That's why I'm doing this little 2-part series and, saying my piece about things. But I had probably 20 people tell me, Jimbo's just jealous of Ernie. That's why he does what he does. And so, of course,
Jealous of what?
when that many people are telling me that, I started looking to see if I saw that. And what I saw was a man who has a career in wrestling, who has a career in coaching, who has a beautiful family, who has a home, pets, and a good following, and another man who has nothing really and has to buy most of his following and come up with all kinds of crazy stories. So I was like, how could Jimbo be jealous of Ernie? That just does not make sense. And I didn't see any proof of jealousy out of you towards him. I just saw you trying to wake people up to who he was.
Yeah. Constance Sue, I don't know anything about the Utah thing. I know a little bit. I'm not real familiar with all that. I know Kemper knows a whole lot more about that than I do. He's got the whole entire story.
And he's not even in here, right? He's at work.
No, he is on his way home. He messaged me. He said that he might jump in chat. So
An ex-girlfriend of Ernie's was recorded telling that story. And also Rose caught my eye. It says Nick admits she got into YouTube to attack Ernie, and then she defended him tonight. So that that's some of the things that have come up in conversations where people, have different opinions on that.
Yeah, this whole take down Jimbo thing is like taking on new life. That's all Nicolina thinks about now. Like, you see, I don't care what happens as long as we take down Jimbo. Like, take me down. What are you going to take down? Like, what like exactly what do they want to happen to me?
What is that?
Want you to lose your channel.
That was the plan for Ernie first, and it's like, is it because there always has to be somebody to take down? Is it that? Like,
well, what else would they do? What else would they talk about?
Right.
Yeah.
I think Ernie thinks he's, some kind of militia leader, and that is his thing. He's like,
Commando.
Yeah, I think that's really what he wants to do is like, look, what's next on the agenda? Who are we taking down? Who are we going after?
What's the secret mission?
Right.
Unit 8.
Unit 8, exactly.
So I can go check the baby, and I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Jimbo, remember the night when Scott H was asking us about the story about Summer being sold and Ernie's supposed to be going to buy her? That's what Rose is talking about.
Oh, on my channel?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have never met Scott, don't know anything about him. It's just I'm open to people coming up and grab the link and talk. He just really wanted the information from the video. Yeah. And as a result of that conversation, and because I let him up, I got blocked in another channel that hates him, and it's really weird because I just started following that channel and really enjoying it, but now I'm banned because I let.
It's frustrating because he did. From what I understand, I was pointed out that he did take a little pop shot at that channel while he was there, without us even realizing he did it.
Yeah.
What happened?
He took a little shot. You're talking about BK, right?
Yeah, but I don't know Scott.
I don't either, but he did take a little shot at it. It was pointed out to me what he had said, and I went back and listened, and he did. Like, the chat was kind of chaotic. We were kind of talking, and there was 3 or 4 of us up on panel, and he did say something about 14-year-old or something. And
but Benny, I mean, Jimbo, you did say we don't talk about that here. We don't talk about other creators here. I heard you say that. Yeah.
I did. But that's.
But do you remember what I'm talking about now?
I didn't even know them.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I don't know anything about that. Like that. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not an expert on the Summer Wells stuff. I just think.
Oh no, I mean about Ernie's story.
About going out there and the woman that's in the video who punches Ernie in the mouth after her big boyfriend kicks him through the trailer. That's the woman that's telling all that in those voice clips.
Yes, and Rose said that she said that Ernie went out to Utah and rescued a girl because this lady worked in child trafficking or I guess was familiar with it. So she said how it goes is you go buy a girl, and Ernie went and bought this girl and rescued her, and so he was supposed to go buy Summer and rescue her, but it went wrong.
Yeah, I can shut that down real quick. Every single bit of that information was given to her by Ernie.
That's what I thought.
So Yeah, there's no
That's
validity.
what I thought.
Yeah.
And Rose got mad at me. She's like, "So are you saying that woman's stupid? Are you saying she would lie?" I was trying to explain, no, I'm saying she believed Ernie. That was the story that Ernie told her, but she didn't lie.
I'm
That's
not
the story she believed.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think, well, her name's Rosie too. Rosie, I don't think she's a liar at all. I just think that's what she was. Yeah, she was just, that's what Ernie told her.
Yeah, because I said he's never rescued anybody. He's never rescued one child. And they said, well, the other stories out there that he has, and every one of them, like the Prentice
They've
rescue,
all rescued it,
we debunked that. The one where he runs to the girl and said, "Oh, we rescued him." We debunked that. Tina's story of him rescuing the person and going state to state during a gunfight shootout. We debunked that.
Yeah.
Scammer.
Rose was just mad as hell at me, today, thinking that I just have it out for Ernie, and I don't. I just don't like all the stories he tells, and honest people get hurt.
Rose is saying the girlfriend told the story as if she told Ernie how to get the girl. That's not. Yeah, I know that's not a fact. I don't know how she told it, but I don't know how you understand it. But Rosie's definitely not the girl who told Ernie how to go find a trafficked person or anything. I'm quite positive on that. Like, Rosie will tell you that while Ernie was at her house, he got in trouble for pretending to be a U.S. Marshal. He was actually contacted by the U.S. Marshal Service and told,
Really?
stop pretending to be a U.S. Marshal. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. So he does that often, the whole stolen valor thing, then, because I've seen him do it a couple of times.
Been
And
doing it forever. Yeah.
Rose said Nick had Jim Terry on. Where is it? Jim Terry on her show tonight. I gotta find it. Oh man, I lost it. It was so far up. Oh, sorry about my dog. He's like, he thinks he's a wolf. Man, I lost it.
That's not even my dog. That's Sarah's dog.
That's not TB this time. 1 second.
I might be getting some messages here.
Hey, everyone's sleeping. There's nothing there. You're paranoid. There's nothing there. I lost what I was reading anyways.
Even whenever when I first, met Ernie and I told some of my other clients about him and stuff, Brandon Maddox actually knew who he was because he had went to an event where Brandon was at, where he was playing at. It was, I think, a Make America Great Again event. And he was there telling people, that he was part of this anti-human trafficking task force program and all of this stuff, and going around and talking to people and just promoting himself to all of these people that were there at that event. But he was leery of him because he didn't have anything to prove anything that he said, like all these people that were there, they had booths and stuff like that where you could come and see, everything that they do and stuff. And Ernie didn't have anything. He was just walking around telling everybody he was this person, this great person. And then he ended up meeting one of friends of Brandon's, and I believe her name was Kimberly, and talking her into that day letting him go and stay with her. And because he had nowhere to go, he had nowhere to sleep when he went to that event, so he ended up staying like a week at her house and then just was like, all right, thanks for the stay, and left. And so this woman, told Brandon, yeah, he came and stayed at my house, slept on my couch for a week, ate my food, watched my TV, and then just up and left. No thank you, no $20, no nothing. And he's like, so watch out for that guy. And so Brandon had kind of warned me very early on too. But I remember when Brandon came on Jimbo's live one time and Ernie popped up like they were best friends, and he's like, hey, what's up, Brandon?
Yeah.
And he tried to get Brandon to go along with the fact that Donald Trump Jr. was there at the event.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, Brandon even told him it was a lookalike.
Yeah, it was just a lookalike, And Ernie's like, no, I'm pretty sure it was really him. I talked to him, And Brandon's like, no.
I think Brandon would know.
Oh, that was funny. Brandon he's so blunt and straightforward. He ain't gonna let anybody lie, and him go along with it.
You know who's blunt and straightforward? Leslie. Look at her last comment. I love it. Why don't you just say what's on your mind? Oh, and Rose, in my chat, you can mention whatever you want to. There's no rule about that in mine. Because, I don't care.
I think everybody believes in the cause of Rescue Our Children, Rose. I mean, all of us know that there's a huge issue in the United States and all around the world, with children going missing and trafficking being a huge thing, and even our government having a part of it and stuff, like, there needs to be a lot of awareness about it, and people need to be talking about it so much to the point where, news media and government can no longer brush it under the rug, but it has to be brought forth and be an open discussion. I think we all stand by that. But it's real easy for anybody to jump on that cause and then try to make a big deal out of it for fame and cash apps,
Yeah, Ernie took it. Ernie took and like, I don't know, man. He turned a good. Well, I don't even want to say it was his idea, but he took a good name that could have been a good idea, that could have really been something, and he used it to line his pockets as quickly and as fastly, as quickly and as much as he could. And that's what he does. He fills those pockets up and runs out of town. That's what he's always done, and that's what he did with the Rescue Our Children. That didn't last long. Then he moved on to something else. Now he's on the YouTube doing different things, and now he's got a $3.5 million contract. We saw. I mean, it's always something with that guy.
Because the rat made 500.
Yeah, in 30 minutes.
I can top that. I got a contract for a few million. That's what that came from, I think.
Oh yeah.
He had to top.
Name Susan. Is it Susan that does the Real House Husbands of Kentucky?
Shannon.
Okay. I watched her video earlier of Ernie's gonna make all this $3.5 million or something, possibly in real estate or whatever. He doesn't need YouTube anymore because he's about to be a millionaire. And she said she asked him in the comments how, and he said, I don't know, possibly real estate or something.
He doesn't have a contract per se, Rose. He was just talking about that. He said he could get one if he wanted. I think his wording was he could get one. So why would he do YouTube when he can get that contract? I think that's how it was presented.
Yeah. Good night, Mars House. Thank you for stopping in.
Good night, Mars House.
Hi, Mars.
Yeah, that cracked me up. She gets me sometimes with her little videos that she makes. He's so silly.
What did he do for the 3 or 4 years after the wrestling scam? He sold hockey masks that he never delivered. Yeah, I mean, he's always had some kind of scam going where he was selling something or T-shirts, something, that he never.
He'll be back, Rose. The whole reason he quit, if from my interpretation, this is just mine. See, Rap had a live, and he was sending somebody to his new Skunk Island, I think it's called. So in order to get the person to Skunk Island, he took donations. So he made $500 in a half hour, and that is when Ernie came on, and it did appear to trigger him that Rap made so much money. So that's the basis for him quitting. That's why. I mean, he decided to quit, and he's done it before, and he said he'll be around in chat still. I think he just privated it for now, and I think he'll be back pretty soon, within the week.
He's always back.
He does come back. Don't think it's the end.
Rose, see, that's part of the issue, though, Rose. Like she said, some people got masked, didn't they? I mean, a few
There
people
was
did, but like,
hundreds.
look, you got hundreds and hundreds of people who paid $200 or $300. Some of them did
There was
for
hundreds.
hockey masks that they never received.
There's one good video that I could that would be good. Remember that guy that was sitting in his movie theater type room with the collections? That's a good video for Rose to watch. It's only a few minutes in it.
Yeah, and you can tell that guy's well-to-do. Like, you know, he's not
Yeah.
somebody that's on there just to bash Ernie Shell. He don't know Ernie.
No, he's a collector, a serious collector of art. Now, didn't you put that video on your channel once?
It's been on my channel. It's on that hockey mask or horror mask news on Facebook.
Okay, yeah, I think
Those
that would
guys
be
have a lot of stuff on Ernie. And if you want to look for missing time, where
there was hundreds of people after
they
it.
have a lot of it. They've see, they're from the hockey mask community. Those people are, and
Yeah,
and they can tell you a lot more about the Ernie scams there.
yeah, you're right.
Rose
Right.
said that her life has been put in danger by a lot of people, and she's starting to fight back now. Rose, is that because of standing for Ernie? Because I wonder, if Rose might not be a little bit of a rebel herself, and maybe feels like, all these people are attacking Ernie, and so she wants to stand for him because there's more people attacking them than they're standing for him,
That's what I felt like it too. But she's been put in danger by people doxing her business and like showing pictures of her house and stuff, I think too. So that's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, I do not condone anybody doxing anybody and going real life and attacking somebody because they stand by anybody. Like everybody has a right to choose what they want to do and what they want to believe in, who they want to support.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
crazy to go real life on somebody because they like a YouTuber,
Right.
Did you see what Constance said to you? Because she could maybe put the link and maybe Rose could save that for later to watch sometime.
Jimbo, can you mod her? Because I don't know how to do it on my phone on here.
You had to mod him.
Unless he's an administrator of the channel.
He is.
I'm an admin on your YouTube channel?
On my StreamYard.
Oh, no, I can't. You can't mod from StreamYard. You have to mod from YouTube.
Oh, well, I'm in StreamYard on my phone, so I don't know how to even do that.
Yeah. You'd have to open up another window in YouTube and, be logged in, and you could go in there and give her a wrench. But
All right, I'll do that.
Constance Sue, you can message me the link, and I'll put it in there.
Or you could swipe out and go to your YouTube and then come back up or something.
Yeah, I can go get the link. What are we looking for here?
I missed it. Constance. I don't know if she was going to do that. The collector guide link. Is that what I don't know what she had in her mind. She might have been wanting to drop a few. Oh yeah, here we go. So she's been threatened. I don't know who Sippy is. I remember you having this couple Sippy day talking about Sippy.
Did that work? Is she modded now?
Say something, Constance.
I'm looking.
Well, I don't get how me letting somebody
He's got a reach.
how I don't know causes me to get blocked in the channel. I'm kind of irritated about that.
It's aggravating. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
I'm not dropping off or
I
anything.
just started liking watching BK. I'm so mad.
Yeah, Rose, I would never want to see anybody hurt you or attack you
Oh no.
or go real life on you.
I hate the level of anxiety that it's created in her. I don't like to see it because I can tell she's really gets upset sometimes, and I feel real bad that it's got to that level, for her. That she feels that way so much, I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this. It's not fair.
But the reason I asked her that, though, is because it seems like a lot of people who have ever stood beside Ernie or been part of his little tiger community or anything, um, they got hurt for it.
Mm-hmm. That, yeah, you're right about that too. Chaotic.
So I guess Ernie had trolls before he ever even came to YouTube, because in that video I was watching that Kemper posted, that was back when when he was only on Facebook, and he's talking about the trolls then too.
Mm-hmm. Goat team. The goat people. Forgot about that. I don't think you have to worry about to the level of the serial killer,
Serial killers from Dolly's channel. What?
The anxiety level.
Mm. Mama T docs a picture of my land one time.
Oh,
A place where you currently live, Jimmy. See, that's what I'm talking about. I just,
feel like I think I remember something like that.
a few years ago. Well, goodness, it's been a good bit of time now, because this was like 2014 or so. I had a woman and a couple of her friends come at me, and they were all part of that satanic temple thing, and they didn't like some things that I had said on podcasts and stuff. So they started looking into who I was and posting pictures of my kids and my kids' school and my home and my address and everything that they could find about me. They were posting. And I asked them several times to please stop. I even said that I would take my podcast down if they were so offended by the things that I said in it. And I never attacked any of them back. I just asked them to quit, and they didn't. So I contacted my lawyer, and we had no choice but to sue, and the main woman who started it all was a disbarred attorney. And during the time that I was suing her, they found out that a lot of the stuff that she pulled illegally, that she wasn't allowed to do because she was disbarred as an attorney. So she ended up serving jail time for it, for stalking and harassing me,
Mm-hmm.
and putting my children in danger. On YouTube, it seems like everybody just does whatever they want to do, because YouTube doesn't really do much about it, and they know that majority of people can't afford to sue them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. They do
But
nothing.
I don't play that way. I've already been through it one time before. I'll do it again.
Fluffy's killing me. Sasquatch girl. Fluffy described one of her fights when she was younger.
Fluffy got in a fight.
With
This.
girl. The description.
Oh my goodness, Fluffy.
that one was killing me when you were talking.
Hey, Mom. I got tongue tied there for a second. Mamita Alicia. Jim, live is at 12:05.
No, we canceled.
Oh, you canceled it? Okay.
Mhm.
I never watched Dolly. I would jump in a little bit here and there when he was doing the island thing, But outside of that, it's just not really he's not really ever talking about anything new that no one else is already. I like watching, like, if I'm a true crime. Why can't I not talk all of a sudden? A true crime case. See, Jimbo, this is why I said don't vote for me to be articulate when you had that, because I get this way at times. But if I am following a case like that, I look for people's videos who have like a short summary of all the updated information.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Michelle Walks, or what's her other, Michelle After Dark, or Christina Randall, or something like that. I just want just the facts of what's been, came out, what's been updated, and that's it. So I don't want to sit and watch a 3-4 hour show over, on something.
Hey, bro.
6 months. Yours was a problem. I remember watching the show during it, and you're like, hello. And I think at the time, I don't know if it was like the transition when his mod was in the hospital, but yours, that was crazy. He kept writing your info down like multiple times. I remember that.
I'll come up, Rose. It's a lot of people do their lives during the day, and it's just really hard because of between work and then my kids and then the baby, It's hard to come up on lives during the daytime.
Jimbo.
least-
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say sometime, I don't know if it can be, when it can be dealt with or addressed, but I might mention it if there's a time. Like if Benny comes in your channel once in a while. I know it might not be the time actually, but I know that Mamita also, she hangs out with us and stuff, and she just got like, she's not blocked on Benny's, but they, her wrench was taken. We were just talking about this before you came, Mamita. I would just like a chance to tell him I like watching his channel now. Before it was like I was kind of tricked by Ernie, I had that wall up, but now I kind of I think he's funny and stuff. So it's just kind of crappy to me that, that one person came up that I didn't know that somebody would judge you for that. But that just kind of bothers me because I wouldn't do that. Maybe because I wouldn't do it to somebody. Maybe I should just let it go. But I'm not letting it go.
Yeah,
Kind of dumb. Just where's my charger? I'm gonna make me a sandwich, Fluffy. She's always telling me to make a sandwich. That's what I'm gonna do. Some ham and some cheese.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jimmy.
What happened?
He used to talk with Dolly a lot, but when
Yes, he did. He seemed to really like him.
Can I share screen? I don't know how to share screen. Like being a guest on somebody else's StreamYard. I don't know how to do that.
Chaotic I kind of been trying to figure that out, but what you do is she puts in another link out, and you go in again, and you leave it in the back chat. Well, maybe she can explain it, but she's pretty good at it.
Like I do, I take a second link.
Yeah.
How do I get that?
You take a link with a
Video there.
I don't know if she does it on another device, like the laptop. She's done it on my channel before, and then you leave. One of them goes into back chat, and then you click on that one. Where is she?
She's right there.
How to share screen.
Chaotic can come up and just do it.
She's good at it.
Chaotic's always welcome to come up anytime she wants.
She taught Mamita how to do it too. So Mamita.
I'm not on the phone, Chaotic. I'm rarely on the phone when I'm on YouTube. Only if I'm in the car. I don't have my picture. I've got an avatar up because I'm not wearing a shirt and I don't want, all these women. No, I'm just kidding.
April's blocked too. I didn't even see that. Oh, we're all blocked. We're rebels, I guess.
Do y'all know what happened in Turkey today?
No.
Nope. I must have slept through it.
I missed out on something, but I see everybody saying pray for Turkey, so that's why I asked.
I pray over Turkey a lot of time in November, around the third Thursday.
Oh yeah, I'm working on a new little cartoon video
Eh,
Got it. Fluffy's got it. I'm too sexy for my shirt.
I'm gonna have Ernie looking
Oh,
through the window at Gypsy and Ken woohooing.
Constant Sue is dropping the mad Ernie links in there, boy.
oh, you
Oh,
know,
is that what that is?
She's putting all kinds of links in there for the Jacksboro, Tennessee.
she's pulling out of her vault. There's
There's-
Kemper.
Hey, Kemper.
Needed
Oh,
him
there's
for
earthquake.
something. I didn't know
Okay.
that. Wasn't Kemper wanted earlier for a clarification on something?
The Utah thing, like I don't really know how Summer Wells came about in that conversation with Rosie, and like I don't know anything about that really. The only thing I can say is that Rosie got all her information from Ernie.
Mm,
So
Could- or what it
take
was.
that for what it's worth,
We have to stop talking bad about Kemper now that he's here.
Stand down.
Depends on whether he's got his good ear on or his bad ear on.
Kemper can pop up if he wants to pop up too.
He said, "Carry on." Yeah.
I've been saying that I wanted to have a stream with just Kemper one night and pick his brain on some things that's not YouTube related.
He said he may be here in a few minutes.
Okay. He just walked out the door.
Walked in the door.
Oh, in. I thought he meant out of work. I'm making my sandwich.
And look, you all proper with all that sandwich stuff. Down here we call them sandwiches. It's a sandwich.
Oh, I call it sandwich. I was trying to be. I make a sandwich.
I went to Firehouse Subs for dinner and had a big old sandwich.
I like Firehouse subs. Man, I ain't had a sub in a long time. Of course, all I get's a BLT sub, so it's not really a big deal for me. BLT is a BLT is a BLT, pretty much.
I had the one that's the roast beef, ham, and turkey.
Cold cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's not cold cut actually because it's warm, so it's warm cut.
Cold cutting and warmed up.
Bang.
Chaotic had enchiladas. Mmm.
Nice.
She always coming in there one-upping people. Actually, I had meatloaf that was in a bell pepper, stuffed peppers.
Huh.
It was so
Ooh.
good.
That's
I
a good.
like
Baked potato, baked tater. Almost lost my goodness card.
There's not much that I don't eat. I eat just about everything.
Smothered pork chops.
Mmm. I'm get hungry again now. I want to know what Constance was showing us.
That sounds good, Miss Dutton.
I'm gonna have to come back and find all the links.
Mm-hmm.
We had those the other night, Kemper. Like 2 nights ago, I think we had street tacos again. Della says she's gonna have to start making them like once a week, put them on a regular menu. Kids like them so much.
I'm doing tacos tomorrow.
I sent my youngest son a video that I saw on Facebook today of this restaurant that sells world's biggest tacos,
What?
and 3 people can eat 1 taco. That's how big they are.
Wow.
Not me. Ain't nobody touching my taco. I'll
There-
share.
There used to be this place in my town, but it's shut down now. It was called Eat a Bite, and
Oh.
they had burgers there that were so big, like they were the size of a plate, like your standard 10-inch round plate, and you could cut it into 4s, and the whole family could get a whole, like a normal sized burger off of just one burger.
Read October Baby's comment. Her last comment.
Predator bust outside? What?
What does that mean?
I don't know. Is Ernie out there?
Oh Lord. That's another thing. He'd always be like going to Walmart or something, like, hey, I just busted a predator in the bathroom. I just caught
Yeah.
it on TV.
Oh, I remember the Walmart one.
Yeah, this
He videotaped a guy, and that was fighting with the woman. That was weird.
Jimmy, the blueberries and cream is my favorite of the instant oatmeal.
Oh, I need the brown sugar.
Kimber, did you tell Fluffy what a street taco is? It's like you get them on the taco trucks outside. She's got the lineup. You can we steak. There's chicken, beef. You select what toppings you want. Street tacos. Hard shell, soft shell.
I want what Ricky Carson has. Mm.
I was thinking that too as I'm eating this.
Well, I'm going to see if Kemper wants to come up and yak with us for a little bit, and then I'm probably going to close this down because I feel like I can probably sleep now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not all tense and my heart's not pounding like it was. I'm not queasy to my stomach anymore.
Good. Yeah. I heard you say something about paperwork. I'm going to tell you that they're probably going to bring paperwork every time you see them.
Yeah?
I wouldn't think, I don't think it's going to be a bad thing. Probably just something for you to sign and, more I's to dot and T's to cross, I would say.
Well, they said they were going to do a reevaluation thing.
Oh, reevaluation? Well, like I said, I'm sure it's, same kind of thing. They probably didn't do something on their end that they have to do or required to do, and they'll do it this time, and it won't be no different, I'm sure.
Yeah, because she said something about staffing and reevaluation, and she would be bringing the paperwork. And I was like, okay, because this is the first time I've ever done this. I don't really know the whole process or how it works. And, they've already told me that one time, that we were set for a while. We'd have to worry about anything. And then they came and they took her, remember? And then a couple of days later, brought her right back.
That shocked me.
Yeah.
It's like, what are they?
And that, I've been paranoid.
It's so bad to move a kid like that.
It's 5 a.m. in Australia. When I picture Australia, I think of like going outside and kangaroos hopping around in your yard.
Yep.
Almost every time I think, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think Australia is kangaroo. I don't know why.
Same thing.
And then I think of the beaches, but I think about the huge great white sharks.
Me too.
Because of sharks,
Shark Week.
I feel like that's Australia is more scary than Africa. Because every time over here that we watch any of those things about Australia, they're talking about the spiders and the snakes and the sharks.
Too many creatures. Way too many creatures. Hell no.
It might not even be like that. You know how TV like over exaggerates everything.
I need to know what spiders are where. If I'm going to step foot on another continent, I need to know what kind of spiders I'm dealing with.
Fluffy said it's probably just a parent plan, keeping up on shots, wellness checkups. That's what
I'd say so.
I hope so, but I really stressed myself out about it.
Listen, you tell them that you know the boss. The big guy. And I'll have them done to them what I had done to who.
As soon as they get there, I'm going to be like, I know Jimbo Collins.
Exactly.
So you better
Right.
watch yourselves.
Actually, you could probably just say Jimbo, and they'll know.
Okay. Yeah, like when you were talking to the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Said, "Can I ask who's calling? This is Jimbo." Oh, we'll put you right through, sir.
Well, I've known that guy since we're almost the same exact age. We're both born in February '73, and like I've known him. We grew up in the same little 800 people community. So yeah, I'm Jimbo. uh, there's only one Jimbo in that little place where I grew up.
That
Well,
was funny though.
as soon as he said his name, as soon as he said mayor or whatever, I'm like, oh, they're not gonna like this. First thought.
Yeah, but he got right through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way
Shoot.
would I be able to call my mayor here and get right through.
And
It
shoot,
was after 5 too. Like it was like 5:05 or something, I think. Or no, it was right before 5. It was right before 5.
yeah, that's right. Just
And then
shooting
he knew
these.
who Ernie was, and you could tell he did not like him.
He does.
Oh, I bet he was jealous.
Yeah, he's another jealous guy.
Mhm.
Oh gosh.
That's like when I called that police station up there, and was asking some questions, and they were like, I guess it was a slow day or something, and everybody was in the office because I asked about Ernie, and then he's like, she's asked about Ernie Shell, and everybody's like, ah, ha, ha. And I'm like, really? Did I just call Mayberry or something?
Is Andy and Opie there?
Because here, we're not a huge city, we're a decent sized city, but I guess because Grady Judd, our sheriff's office, it's really hard to get through to anybody, and you go through a runaround and stuff. But there they pick right up and talk right to you and answer all your questions like they've known you your whole life. And we're not afraid to say their thoughts and feelings on Ernie.
Right.
Okay, Constance, I will. Sarah, are you going to the bathroom?
I'm not pulling a rep.
That's what I was wondering.
I'm running my kitchen sink. Well,
I
I
thought I
did
heard
have to
a
go
fish.
on the live once, but I did put on the mute. I do have some kind of limits.
Some kind of limits.
I mean, I saw Don Wells take a crap the other day. Was he
Oh
yesterday?
my God, was that the
Like,
worst?
Yep.
Did he? Is this a new time or is this the old one that he did where he's on a live sitting on the
I'm
toilet?
thinking of the old one.
No, yesterday he peed on Dolly's on the live, and then Dolly shut it down. It closed it out real quick. Shut the put it on the mute. It was just like what but everybody heard it, and then right when Dolly unmuted, he goes, "Oh God, that felt good," and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" And then Benny played a clip today of him on the toilet and starting to raise up to get his pants up. And you could see the whole side shot, that he was naked, right on the toilet.
Oh
Yeah,
my
That's
goodness.
the old one there, yeah.
Back to the old stuff, because he's been getting drunk. You have to go to the bathroom a lot, so he didn't really care. The camera was on, I guess.
Fluffy, I did see that. That happened in Lakeland. That was crazy. The
I
church
love
work.
good videos.
Yeah. Alert Amuse as we eat kangaroos. Their meal is
Oh,
the most lean of all red meat animals. Very healthy.
really? I can't
Wow.
imagine that creature. It looks so cute. I want to pet one.
Ernie said that his hat was made out of kangaroo leather.
Well, I do like leather. I like to work with leather. No, I still want to hold a baby kangaroo. I want koala bears, all the cute creatures.
On cracking cases a few nights ago, he took a poo and showed the twigs and berries. Oh
Whoa.
my goodness.
Whoa, October baby's back. Look what she said. I think she meant holy crap. Back, holy crap. Outside my building waiting for police. They got, I think she means got a guy with a setup to meet a 14-year-old.
Oh my goodness.
Record it. Make a video in case the cops need it. I mean, if you can.
They got the guy though, she said.
To go down, they are with building security now.
They got a guy who, yeah, they got him. Well, thank God they got him.
Wonder
This
how
is
they did that
real.
with Ernie and Jay, or like, you know, I bet Ernie.
Is this like a pedo hunt going on live while we're just chatting? Like as we were talking about a real hunter?
Yeah, sting operation went down.
Kind of ironic, huh?
I remember that, Fluffy.
Fluffy.
I don't remember that.
That's funny.
I mean, look at the name.
Yeah. Hey, that would be a good video for your channel, October, baby. Cops and a medical team have arrived.
Ooh,
Oh, man. You should go live.
yeah, totally.
Yeah. Everybody wants to see what it really looks like.
That's
When
how
they-
it is now. People want to see, and that's the thing with the news disappointing us. They, do the little clips, and then we're left hanging. We want to keep watching.
Look at Lady Jane Rogue's comment.
Ah!
That's the truth.
I mean, call it as you see it.
Yeah. Lady Jane Rose, stand down.
Stand down.
Stand down right now.
You said that pretty good for the one that it's supposed to be towards.
Right? Hey, listen,
So stand down.
that cut me so deep.
Stand down right now.
Stand down.
I would be out there recording it October, baby. I'm a nosy neighbor anyways. When
know.
anything's going down, I'm looking.
Oh yeah.
I need to see. When something's going on in my hood, me and my neighbor have a plan, like I gotta text her, hey, check this out, like we got an action plan when shit goes down,
Mm-hmm.
Neighborhood watch. I'm waiting for the next comment.
Lord, the Discord's blowing up. I've missed 4 Discord messages here.
Oh yeah, before I go to bed, I need to go and read it and see what everybody's saying.
That Discord voice was pretty cool, man. I never really participated in that. It was pretty awesome. last
Oh,
night.
I forgot. Yeah, you can make calls.
It was like, well, you just go in there. It's not really a call. You just go in and, like, let's say me and you and Alicia are in the voice chat.
Uh-huh.
You just go in there and enable it, and we're talking like we are now.
Yeah,
Just
I
like,
thought it was fun. Yeah. You have to set up a room, right? So yeah, that's cool, kind of cool because we can actually chat with people we don't have their numbers and stuff.
Mhm. We have a mod room set up, voice mod room
Oh,
set
you
up.
do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, isn't that the thing I was in earlier? Texting, or there's a talking one, you mean?
There's a talking one too. Yeah,
Well,
there's
how am I supposed to find all this stuff? Sorry,
There's little tabs.
my
Listen,
broken filter.
there's tabs.
I think it just says voice chat, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I've done this before in Ernie's group. It's just I only did it a few times. I think it's separate. I'll just gotta look around on that.
You go to the tab, and the voice mod chat on mine is the very last one down.
Okay, I just saw 3 or 4 things in little.
There's voice channels, and it says general, and then mod voice chat.
Okay, so that's where we'll go when we talk. Or don't tell me I missed something. Did I miss something?
No, we were just hanging out. It's cool.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't want to get busted.
No.
Okay.
Like I said, I posted a statement there. They're like,
Oh, I want to hear Sugar Pie's voice.
it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, man, I want to hear her voice.
Hey, chaotic,
Hi.
exotic.
All I have in my mind is Nikki flicks her bean. Nikki flicks her bean.
It was so much better than that because it lasted more than 2 seconds.
Yeah, right. That's why I need to go in there and hear it.
You get her talking about that dog that got smacked, and boy, she gets upset. That was
Oh yeah. Not
Jim-
cool.
Time you cancel, can you do it before I take a nap just so I can be awake?
That was Kemper's decision. He's not feeling good.
Of course, it's Kemper's fault. It's always Kemper's fault.
Kemper, stand down.
Well, he found out that you took a nap, so you'd be wide awake and feisty during the live, and he canceled.
Yeah, now she's all ready for the all nighters, the ones I keep missing.
I know, right?
I was kind of sad. Well, I popped in for a minute last night, and actually I heard a rumor, and I think I asked you this, and I don't remember if you answered. Some people were saying like you showed some pictures last night, but I didn't see that. I kind of was in the live a little bit.
Pictures?
Yeah, somebody said you showed pictures of Sayla, or the real Sayla or something.
Oh yeah, I showed some ogre pictures of a bunch of people. Yeah.
In last night's chat or live.
Well, I don't know if it was last night or not before. They all kind of run together on me.
Oh, okay, and maybe it was the one before that because I watched that and I missed a little piece of the night before because I think one of them was at 1 a.m. or were both of them at 1? I can't remember.
Either.
I can't keep track. Time doesn't.
Yeah,
exist
schedule's
for-
getting screwed up, so I was trying to set it back. Like this morning, I overslept because I went past. I was talking late on here. Or I think I went to yours at Jimbo for a little bit because I wanted to I was like, oh, I gotta go see if I'm gonna catch some sound bites, but I already missed them.
We did have 2 new sound bites last night.
Yeah, I don't like missing the new ones. Feel real left out.
They were actual videos too. Like I left the actual video up with it. Of course, I played one during Mama C's.
Yeah, you had good timing for all those. I gotta say. It makes
October
a lot-
Baby gave us an update. She said she had to stay inside. The team was here earlier to do an interview and film. I'll post what I can get.
Oh shit! I gotta go back. Oh, they had to stay inside the team.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. So it was a setup. And they had a team.
Oh
there and everything.
shit! Like the kinds on YouTube.
I wonder if it's that one guy. The
Oh yeah. What's his name?
Chaotic. Come on, who is that
He
guy?
comes to Boston too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anthony Greeno. He did get out, didn't he?
Yep, he
Back
did.
out.
He
God.
probably just got somebody.
No,
No, he's
we're talking about the guy who was going to go on spring break with Ernie last year.
Oh,
And then he found out Ernie was a joke and didn't go.
I can't think of the name of the guy that does Predator
he-
Bus.
Yeah, P Mass. Something
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
I
Yep.
said sub to him, but I couldn't.
I was going to say, I know a lot of people reached out to him whenever Ernie started talking about teaming up with him. Yeah.
Oh
Is
yeah,
Team
right.
Rose still in the chat?
I don't know.
I hadn't seen her.
I was going to say Kemper's the one who knows about the Utah leg cutting incident and all that or whatever.
Oh, the trafficking.
Yeah.
He was interested in asking you stuff.
Oh, Team Rose seems to think that the whole account that Rosie Baldwin actually told Ernie what was going on, and that Ernie went on her word to Utah and saved
Okay, well, first of all, I'll say this. Ernie never went to Utah and picked up a mother and her child.
Oh, so shoots that right in the leg.
So
Tell her to come back.
and I just spoke to this lady last week.
Really?
Oh yeah. I'm not going to sit here and make claims about something I'm not sure of. If I'm not sure, I'll tell you I'm not sure. But
Okay.
it wasn't anything more than a LARP session. Basically, Ernie doing his little theater,
Just doing it.
and it was in the state of Tennessee, in the county of Cott County. That's
Cool.
where it ended. Apparently, it started somewhere in Middle Tennessee, but it wasn't real. And the woman even told me that it wasn't. She told me that Ernie and Tina had her thinking that she had been sold into human trafficking, and her daughter was too. She wasn't doing well mentally, and Ernie and them used that. Now, whenever she took her daughter down to the highway from Tina's and Xander's and all them, when she took her daughter down from there, the cops picked her up on the highway. And because of the story being so far-fetched, they kept her daughter away from her for around 5 months. She had to jump through so many hoops to get her daughter back.
5 months.
Yeah, and the only reason she didn't press charges is because her lawyer told her that it would be opening up another can of worms trying to get her daughter back.
That's true.
So
Unfortunately.
she didn't do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
There was no tracking devices. There was none of the high-speed chases. Now, Ernie did have it on Facebook Live. He did. But it wasn't real. That's the whole thing.
You on the stream? I'm on somebody else's stream. Why didn't you set an alarm for you?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to ask you to give me a put
I got you, buddy.
But yeah, there was no Utah or Idaho or none of that stuff. I would say where it started, but you know, a lot of people don't need to know where it started. Just know that it was in Middle Tennessee.
Whatever happened to that other lady that came up and she needed help trying to escape a bad situation, and then Ernie ended up helping her get into another place,
yeah.
but it was like worse than the first place she was at.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that was
house.
that was just a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
I've never heard from her again since all that happened.
Was that like a fake setup?
Well, it would have been. It didn't work out in his favor because she came out very upset about where she was placed and showed pictures of how nasty it was and stuff.
Oh yeah, the pictures that we saw of it wasn't doing too good.
Was it just some random person he found that's like, oh, they can come stay here? And he did, like, I don't understand.
It looked like a trap house.
A crack house is what I said. Yeah, trap
Oh, a
house.
trap house, crack house, yeah.
It's one of his subs. She's still on YouTube. I can't remember her name, but it was one of Ernie's subs up there. I think she's in Michigan, actually.
I can't remember what it was.
Damn, everybody's up here.
Mm-hmm. Seems to be. I think that's where the YouTube headquarters need to be, bro. Is that
Start coming up there and harassing Kipper.
with Ernie's meetings in the YouTube in Michigan? That's the reason why we never heard from him.
Mm-hmm.
He never actually got there.
Oh my gosh, dude! I found so many freaking videos yesterday.
We were talking about some of them today.
Yeah. That one that you did earlier with him talking to the owner of Disney and having a new social media platform coming out.
Oh yeah,
I need to see that.
Oh, he was going to be the next Transformers movie. He was going to be in
the Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai. I remember that one.
Yeah. He said that for two. He told Hunter that when he was here. He said he was still going to. And Hunter said, "Dad, is he really going to do that?" I said, "Hunter, what do you think?" He goes, "He ain't." I said, "No, he's not."
She found alert and amused. She said that she's got a hairdresser appointment. She's got to get rid of that skunk line.
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say I did find the video where Ernie quit Predator Hunter Nation, and it's I haven't posted it yet, but it's he's going off on Tina about Bigfoot and other stuff.
Oh, you sent me that, didn't you?
Last night, yeah.
Yeah, when he's got the blood in his teeth and stuff.
Yep. Dude, I've got so many freaking videos of this fool.
I didn't see
Older. It's before YouTube, but
it still sets the tone, bro. You know?
They're so crazy. I can't believe he's tried.
I wish I saw all of those early on, before I ever even got in as far as I did with him on things.
Well, see, I mean, you pretty much showed up about the time we started making everything about him public.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was right after that when you started messaging me, Alicia.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wasn't in the thick of it for very long. It just seemed like it, I guess, But when you look back, it really wasn't that much time, really, before I started figuring it out.
No. And basically, it took you a minute, like it does everybody, stepping back is what helps you see it. If you're
Mhm.
full of all that noise, it's easier to miss those things, you know. And a lot of people, like in May, I had to step back and look. And when I did, there was so much I seen, and I was disgusted. And I didn't want to have anything to do with YouTube at that point. And for a while, that's the way it was. But yeah, it's it can be quite chaotic, you know.
Hey now.
I knew that was coming.
I felt like that a few times though. I've told Jimbo, I've told Chaotic a few times. Step away and leave for a little bit because, you know, it's just too much.
Yeah.
Yep.
I try. Some people just don't want to leave my name out of their effing mouth. So
That's what I was laughing about. I went through a few message threads with different people on Facebook, and I actually found quite, because people, like, you know, with Jimbo, they send me a lot of clips, especially when my name gets involved.
mhm.
And I swear I found at least a dozen videos.
Wow. Right. Stupid man. Constance got like her whole portfolio dropping.
Yeah, Kemper, I don't know if you probably didn't hear earlier, but we were talking about putting a timeline together like Constance already has a good one, but everybody helping add to it and then making like a video of just everything from as early back as we can find up till now.
That would be brilliant.
Are you talking about sort of like a Predator Hunter Nation Part 2?
We could literally put together a 2-hour film. I'm telling
It
you.
would be a couple
Oh,
hours.
dude,
He
what
should
do
all
you think? I was gonna say on the phone that I'm on right now, I probably have at least 80 hours worth of live streams and clips.
damn.
Yeah.
Chaotic did message me last night, and I wasn't going to say anything, but she said when we did the movie, she gets to play Ernie.
Oh, no, I did not say that.
Because didn't you say something about you all being the same size?
Well, she's got the feet
You know,
for it.
you know who else is the same size?
You.
Anthony Greeno.
Yes.
Yeah, but Greeno's feet are too big.
But no, he's 1 inch taller. Remember?
He's gonna be looking for work though.
I don't know, but I do. I've been filtering out a lot of my files and stuff, so I will be putting out quite a bit. I mean, a lot of the stuff people are not going to understand because the context of what he's talking about. You know what I mean? A lot of people weren't, you know, paying attention at that point. But yeah, I'm definitely down to help do a timeline and or video and or we'll do a musical if you want.
Jimbo, you could hire about any 10-year-old to play Ernie.
No,
A
they're too big.
documentary thing
They're too
would be
big.
Yeah,
really cool though, and he should be happy if we all did a documentary for him. I mean,
he would be.
Well,
he's got-
that's the thing. There was a documentary in the works.
someone did say they were going to do one at one time.
Dalton.
They released a little episode. It looked like it was put together well. It was just stupid.
No, well, what I'm saying is after that, Dalton, it was probably in May or June, he went up on Rap's panel and all this stuff, but he had reached out to quite a few people trying to plan making a documentary. Or not a, yeah, it was a documentary as well. And it was going to show the different angles and aspects of the different characters, supposedly. But yeah, he got called out for being a scammer himself.
He got scared off, yeah.
Yeah, Lady Jane, I don't think if it has to be shining him in a good light or anything. He don't care if it's famous or infamous, just as long as people are talking about him.
That's it.
Name out there.
That's it.
Yeah, he lives by that Hollywood code that any publicity is good publicity.
Yep.
Right.
He sure does.
I mean, that's why he didn't mind putting some misinformation about himself out there. And it wasn't even good information.
Constance Sue, is that the Georgia when he was pulled over for speeding, or is that the Georgia when he was
Hospitalized.
hospitalized. Because when he was pulled over for speeding in Georgia, that's the day he was actually in Michigan.
Yeah, he claimed he was calling me over and
So
over
we,
and over again, and he was in Michigan, and you guys will see it soon. Like I said, I found all those videos last night. So.
we went to Michigan to whip Kemper. He was blowing, and he was like, it's cold outside. You could see his breath in the air, and he was like, it's cold up here. And then like 2 hours later, he's pulled over on the side of the road by a cop, and turns out to be a Georgia state trooper or something.
It's a false 911 call. That's what the video is. The Georgia police report.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've got that. Yeah, I've got that in my drawer,
report.
in my desk drawer. That's when he was calling from Phil's house, calling 911 over and over.
Yep, that's one of those.
No, I
The
think
three
she needs
original,
I think
the
she
three
needs-
original videos that we got of Ernie's, two were the highway run. The other one was the apartment, where Phil's like, "Did you call them?" You know.
Yeah, he's standing there in his underwear, and he goes, "Did you call them?" And he's like, "Can what's her name? Something? Can she come pick me up?"
I think it was full
He's-
call.
Yeah, he said something about she wouldn't come down there to pick him up unless Law was there.
Yeah.
How much time went by between when he was at Phil's and he kept, calling the police all paranoid from the time that he was at Phil's where he called me and did the highway run? You have an estimate?
Oh, well, the original highway run, those two videos and the apartment video were from 2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a couple of creators that put those out as if they were the ones that got them, and they started putting out the information as if it happened a few weeks from the date that they put their video out. So a lot of people think that it was actually 2021 when it was 2019.
I was asking because whenever I called the police to report the incident, after Ernie called me and asked for help and gave me the address and everything, they didn't want to be helpful at all. They were like, "Yeah, we're well aware of that situation. We're well aware of them two guys." And I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "We know what's going on over there." And I'm
Hang
like,
on a
"All
second.
right."
I'll look up the actual citation and tell you what day it was when he was cited for calling 911 over and over and over.
October, baby, you didn't interrupt us at all. We were all interested in what was going down there.
We wanted to see
Absolutely.
it.
Still are, yeah.
We wanted the action.
I want action tonight.
But yeah, we actually my friend got those videos from the guy that Ernie was threatening him and his daughter, and claiming that he was Department of Homeland Security.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that gave us those videos was the guy he was threatening, which happens to be
Brother-in-law. Is it brother-in-law or?
he is the baby daddy
Oh,
of
yeah.
the 10-year-old girl from the trailer park fight.
Rosie's.
Yep.
Yeah. So not brother-in-law at all. It was actually her boyfriend.
It's, basically, it was his sister-in-law that put us in contact, or it was his sister that put us in contact. But yeah, he's the one that gave us those videos. And I tell you, the funny thing is he had it on an old phone that was broken. So he had to go and get this phone repaired just to get us those videos.
Actually, bro, the Phil Amick, when he was at Phil's house calling 911 repeatedly,
Yeah.
was 2021.
What?
It was May the 3rd, 2021.
That seems more.
How did he?
That's a different video. There's more than one instance.
Okay. So, but that's what I'm saying. Jason's the one that gave us the highway run videos. That's the originals. That's what I thought.
And those are from Phil Amick too. Like remember he calls Phil's name in that one.
Right.
So 2019, and then Phil again 2021, and then Phil again 2022 when he smacked the phone out of his hand.
I was gonna say I had it mixed up. Sorry.
Oh, it's good. I mean, that shows three more. That's three instances at Phil's house that resulted in highway runs.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
so weird with him because you look it up. He used to be a lawyer, and his Facebook profile, it shows, like with women and church organizations and stuff like that, and he's always talking about God and stuff. And then to know that he's a part of all that stuff with Ernie, weird.
Yeah, it
mm,
is.
Silent.
And I mean, that's why I said Ernie could very well be being hidden by his bisexual life, the one that nobody really knows much about.
Hmm.
That is a possibility of who's going to help him stay hid, because nobody knows. Like we know Phil, we know Eric. That's what we know.
yeah.
I don't know, Lady Jane. I mean, he's not an attractive guy at all.
Phil?
Yeah.
Looks like Mama T with a haircut.
Yeah. Actually, he's better looking than Mama T. Remember, he won the poll.
Oh yeah, he did win the contest, didn't he?
I sent you that arrest citation to your backup.
Maybe it's not
Okay.
attracted to him. Maybe Phil just does like a lot of things for him. He seems to always flock back to whoever gives him free things.
He does.
So October Baby, what do you know if there was actually a child involved, or if it was like a setup thing, where they pretend to be a child and then
Right. Was it a sting operation or a real child?
yeah, that's what I want to know, because here in my county they do sting operations all the time.
I know you can actually follow that guy, Sheriff Grady. Did you hear when I corrected her on that? Boy, she got mad.
On
She
what?
Tina, she kept saying, Sheriff Grady, I'm working hand in hand with Sheriff Grady and shit. I was like, his name's Sheriff Judd, right? Well, we're on a first name basis, so I call him Sheriff Grady.
Mhm.
Well, here in
Doggy.
he's just Grady Judd.
Yeah.
Most people don't even say sheriff; they just say Grady Judd.
Right.
Everybody knows what they're talking about. Good night, Earth Angel. Thanks for coming in.
Good night, Earth Angel. Definitely 14. Oh, wow.
What's up?
Oh, you weren't. October Baby actually witnessed a real life trafficking attempt or something there, and where she's at.
Oh, really?
Arrest and everything, yeah.
Oh.
14-year-old child.
Was it something like Ernie were doing, or was it an actual?
That's what we were asking. She said it was actually a 14-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, the one thing now, there are some sick people in the world.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, Ernie Shell's not equipped to combat those people. And, if he were to really get a tip that led him to somebody that was that dangerous, he's going to put a child's life in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kemper, you kind of sort of followed the whole, Pizzagate, Pedogate, Q thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, you
It
that.
was the Save the Children.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because of my past, it's one of the things that I do keep an eye on.
Right. So then that from out of that, a lot of people became famous. A lot of just normal, regular people gained a lot of fame off of all of that,
Ernie was
on,
trying to do that.
yeah, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, a lot of people came out, and some information they put out was real and some was just completely made up stuff, and they ran with it, but they grew channels like huge, like, hundreds of thousands of followers and stuff talking about all that stuff when all of it was going down.
Are you talking about like the Bakers? if you want to call it that. The
Yeah.
people that would take the Q drops and interpret them and
Mhm.
explain the predictions and all that. Yeah, there were. They did do a purge on social media with a lot of that kind of stuff. And to be totally honest, that's how we got to hit Ernie and Tina so well, is we knew what to report.
You're right.
And information is what got them popped.
Did
And they lost their original Predator Hunter Nation Facebook page. And then Ernie lost a Facebook profile
mm.
to those kind of posts. And yes, it was me and a few other people reporting the shit out of it.
Did you ever see accounts like Defango and Random Rants of Brian?
I know Praying Medic.
Yeah, Praying Medic was involved in all of that stuff too. Titus Frost. There
This
was a
hunters.
lot of LARPing that went on back then too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
I think that Ernie watched all of that and saw how big channels grew so fast.
Yep.
The whole Save the Children thing. And I think that's where his whole Rescue Our Children came from.
Well, see, that's the thing. They were trying to use our local Facebook groups for our community, where they announce, schools being closed, where they do church announcements, that kind of stuff. They're in here pushing all of this. The way I identify it is QAnon. That's what I see it as. So if you hear me say that, that's what I'm referring to.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I got involved and started really paying attention when they had the Navy ships in Los Angeles and New York, and they were saving all the kids from the underground tunnels, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing ever came from it. There was another night that they were supposedly going underground, going to war with all these traffickers in those tunnels. Nothing. You know what I mean? So I sort of started watching. I was like, okay, they've got some facts here, but this is out there. When everybody's, Donald Trump is God's anointed, and he was anointed to take out the Hollywood elite and the Democrats, was
Mm-hmm.
pretty. I mean, when you specify like that, coming from a kid that went through some bad stuff, you know better. You know that it could be anybody. They could be Libertarian, Republican, Democrat. It don't matter.
Right. Yeah.
So whenever I started seeing all that, and I was like, okay, this is a little crazy. And then Washington, D.C., January 6th happened. And after that happened, and I seen all of the QAnon supporters there, I was like, okay, I'm about to start calling it out. And I did. If you go to my Facebook, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you can go and look, and you'll see for 2 solid months right after January 6th happened, I was blasting everything QAnon, debunking it, just like we do with Ernie now. I was doing that with QAnon.
You can see the same thing on my Facebook. I was doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see it. Yep.
But yeah, that happened, and literally it was right after that is when I met Ernie.
Mm.
I want to say it was February, maybe March, and that's how I met Ernie. I knew Tina and Xander because I used to live in Newport. I have a lot of friends that are either used to be friends or mutual friends with them. So there has been a little bit of skin in the game for me, you know what I mean? Sort of like Jimbo, because he knows Ernie. That's the same way with me and the hippies, whatever. I ain't gonna be mean. I'm on your panel, so. But yeah, they were harassing people in my hometown. There's a restaurant right behind their hemp cafe, and it's called the Woodshed. And they're one of those small town restaurants that's open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that's it. You know what I mean? They have limited hours. But me and my friends used to go up there quite a bit, and I encountered Tina a couple of times when I was outside smoking a cigarette, her hollering about how they serve human meat, and they had their food tested, some carry out, and it had human DNA in it, like all kinds of crazy stuff like that. And then I ended up working for one of their competitors in town, which was one of my high school friends. And he wouldn't let us talk about any kind of politics or gossip or anything, because it was work. People were there to buy vape juice, CBD, kratom, whatever. So whenever people came in complaining about them, we couldn't respond to it except for, "Oh, really?" And that was it, you know? So, but yeah, I dealt with them for a couple of years.
And I remember you saying, like, when you started calling out some of the stuff, then they like came after your family and said that like your dad was involved in stuff and everything through a church or something.
Yep. And so
Wow.
my dad's a pastor. Like
Hmm.
he's been a pastor. Like when I was born, he was going to Bible college. And I mean, probably 18 years of my life, he wasn't being a full-time pastor, but he still pastored in some capacity, but the rest of it, he's been a full-time pastor. So, and that was what was so funny to me, is because Ernie thought I was just some random dude that Jimbo had made a profile of on Facebook to troll Ernie with. He really didn't think I was real.
Yeah.
And then he thought that I just lived in Michigan and was harassing him. And then I was in Newport. The whole time I was in Lansing. But like, this is what Ernie come up with. So, but yeah, that whole QAnon thing, that happened because they were pushing that in our community groups. And we were like, okay, proof or shut it down.
Well, when I've heard you, tell this before, it always makes me think that like she was just living in the Hampstead case at the time.
Oh, she's
You
been all
became
about
the
that.
new Ricky guy,
Yeah. But that's the kind of stuff that they've always done. It's always big conspiracy. They've always doxed. Like there's a guy in Newport. I don't know if he still lives there, but he used to. And they had called DCS on the dude 9 times.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But I mean, this guy is he was a veteran. He also worked for a company that was contracted by Blackwater or something like that. Like it was an indirect tie or whatever. But, of course, Tina and Xander and them, oh, he worked for Blackwater, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy he went through hell. Like he proved himself to be a fit parent despite what they were saying. And it ended up being his ex and her new boyfriend that had child abuse charges in Oregon.
So do you think that they're the type of people who get so caught up in and going down the YouTube rabbit hole when it comes to all that stuff that they just start seeing it everywhere to a paranoid point where they believe that it's all happening around them, everything that they see on YouTube,
I mean, as far as Tina goes, yeah, I could see her doing that. And I could see Ernie doing that. Part of him. I mean, Tina's just not a stable person. She's not. And she's like, "You're trying to destroy our family, destroy our business." No, I didn't destroy your business. She did that. As far as her family goes, yeah, I had concern for her kids because of messages that I had received from a kid that had like been friends with right now in house, the second oldest, but she was underage at the time. And they didn't specify what exactly that they were reporting, but they decided not to do it because they were going to get thrown under the bus because the oldest sister was going to lie to make sure the little ones didn't get taken from mom and dad. And I know right before their DCS visit, they had somebody come and clean that whole business up. Took them a week.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I had a lot of concern for the kids. Me being with my history as it is, if I can see, even like with a pet or an animal, if I see any kind of wrongdoing toward them, I'm going to speak up.
Right. Is it true that at one point in time, Tina, one of her daughters said that Ernie touched her?
Okay, what happened was they were at a birthday party and they were at the business that they supposedly bought for the oldest daughter. And then like a couple months later, it was the trolls that put them out of business and blah, blah, blah. Like it just happened like last year.
Mm-hmm.
They were at that same building for a birthday party. And they had friends, from all walks of life there, but they had two of them that were there because of their ties to their documentary. And Ernie didn't grope. Okay. I'm going to be specific. He touched her from her ear, like an earlobe, and slowly grazed down her neck. And she did not like it. And she didn't say anything. She went and told her husband they needed to go ahead and leave and go home. So they got their kids and left. And then he found out once they got away from there what had happened.
Mm.
Okay, so it wasn't a grope, but it was unwanted touching.
Yeah.
Now, whenever it happened, she told Ernie to stop it, smacked his hand or something like that. And next thing you know, the second oldest spoke up and told Ernie to knock it off. And she said to that lady, he does it to us all the time. You just got to tell him to stop.
Mm.
And that's what happened.
Creepy.
But at the same time is when I received messages from one of their children's friends. And it was the same children or the same kid that they tried to say was recruiting for their human trafficking ring that was in town. And they doxed this family and had a big post about it. And it was odd because, all I was a dude that trolled him. I seen him, I call him out. That's all I did.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I'm getting messages of screenshots of text messages with their kid and the kid that they doxed and accused to be, being in human trafficking. So whenever I got those messages, I really amped up what I was doing. And I was told I've been accused of calling the law, calling CPS and all this stuff. I've never done any of that. Other people have, and no, I didn't instruct them to or ask them to. They told me they were, and I was like, well, if you feel that you've got enough to report, then you go do it. I've not had enough to report in my book. You know what I mean? Like nothing that I can prove. A lot of hearsay, but there's only one thing I know, and I'm not going to put it out there. And it's not like, it's not hurting the kids or anything like that. But I don't know.
You don't have to say it,
But yeah, when I got those messages, I really, really started paying attention. And it was literally right after Summer disappearing. And right when that happened, they sort of mentioned it at first and then laid off for like a week. And then next thing you know, they're coming back. It might not have been a week. They showed up at the racetrack with a folder
Infamous racetrack.
given to them by a psychic. And that was their background, I guess, their information that they had on the whole summer thing. And that psychic told me that when they saw that they were fake, that they were phony actors, whatever, her and her crew left.
Yeah,
Did
the
not,
racetrack thing happened just a little bit before I came into the picture, because I actually didn't even find out about that until several months afterwards.
right.
Don't you wish you had known?
Yeah.
Oh, that was whenever they did the racetrack thing. That's when a lot of people showed up on the scene.
Yeah,
Started
Benny,
going at him.
that's what brought Benny to the table on Ernie then.
Yep, even Griff and a few other people.
Yeah.
Benny's the one that shined the light on it, and then people were like, "Hey, look at this guy," that kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, I mean, we had always had concerns because we knew how phony the Ernie was, and we always talked between ourselves. And it was said by a few of us that Ernie is the type of person that would create the situation to become the hero of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Bingo.
maybe kidnap a kid to say that he saved them. And literally, it was probably about a month before Summer went missing. So whenever that happened, we were on the edge of our seats, like watching everything we could.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody's got anything more than what I've seen, but what I've seen, I don't see Ernie being the person. I don't. A lot of people suspect it, and I know those messages from Rosie that Benny had played probably confused some people, but honestly, she told me it was things that she was told, and yeah, I talked to Rosie. But that's exactly what she told me. That what she said was told to her, and that all she could do is, if she could remember, tell who said it to her, but couldn't prove it. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, honestly, unless somebody else has something that I've not seen anything that puts him into that equation.
I got a little concerned because I did see that he was around the area at the time that she went missing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, would he really do that? And then I wondered again when I heard about that. I think DA's son, Jimbo, had said,
His nephew.
Yeah, his nephew or something like that, where he tried to get him to, act in like he was saving him or something in a video. So I wondered if he would go that far. But, all this time there's been no proof. So.
Right. Like I said, I mean, I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying from what I've seen, he's not done it.
Yeah. Well, Kipper, I need to call it a night. They're going to be here early in the morning, about my little foster baby.
I didn't even realize that everybody left.
Yeah. It's almost 1 a.m., so I need to head to bed and get up and be prepared for that in the morning.
Alrighty. Well, thanks.
I want to talk with you more, so I want to do this again and have you come up and talk about some other things, outside of YouTube, and pick your brain about some stuff.
Alrighty. I'm always down for a conversation, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Good night. Thank you for coming in and spending time with me and helping me get my mind off of everything. I feel like I could sleep good now. I love you all, and I'll see you around the YouTube streets. Good night. Love you, Sugar Pie.